Shalom and welcome to the biggest stage in Jewish high school basketball, the championship game of the 2015 edition of the Sarachek tournament. We have quite the battle today between the Frisch Cougars and the HAFTR Hawks, the #1 seed. My name is Adir Pinchot alongside Josh Cohen. Frisch coming off a disappointing loss in the semifinals of the Yeshiva League Championship. They lost to DRS in the semifinals, so they're looking to regain their dominance and try to bring a championship back home to New Jersey. They're coming in as the #3 seed, and they'll be facing off against the #1 seed, the heavy favorites, the HAFTR Hawks. HAFTR looking to continue and solidify their reign of dominance. They're actually going to be, if they win today, they will be the first team ever to win the Triple Crown. That is the Memphis Cooper Invitational, along with the Yeshiva League Championship and Sarachek here today. And they're also trying to become the 3rd team ever to win both the Yeshiva League Championship along with the Sarachek Championship. It was done previously in 1999 by MTA, and also, interestingly enough, Josh, it was done in 1997 by Rambam. That team was coached by Joey Honig, who will be coaching the HAFTR Hawks here today, trying to repeat that feat. It was also featuring junior guard Elliot Steinmetz, who's now the coach of Yeshiva University. So a lot on the line for HAFTR despite their success already this season. In terms of these two teams and how they've gotten here, Josh, what can you tell them about the road to today's game?
Well, HAFTR got here today by beating both teams from California. They beat Shalhevet 55-46 and a 53-37 big win against Eula yesterday. For Frisch, it came a little tougher. It was a win against RASG 58-47, and then a nail-biter win yesterday against DRS 34-32.
Thank you, Josh. And talking about that road, who have been the key players thus far in the tournament for these teams, and who's going to need to step up today?
Well, everyone knows about A.B. Perlow for HAFTR, but my player to watch is Max Rosner. He had a huge game yesterday with 12 and 5, coming off a big game also on Friday. Also look for John Greenberg. He came in, had a big second half, including a clutch three-pointer late in the 3rd quarter.
So we know that those two guys are tough to stop. HAFTR with a well-balanced attack. They're big, they're physical, they're big at really every position on the court. Very tough to stop. Frisch is going to have a lot on their hands defensively. What do they like to do, and what adjustments might they make to try to stop this HAFTR attack?
Well, Frisch has a very good guard play. We all know about Tyler Hode, but look Scott Levine to have a big game. Also, Charlotte to have a big game. It was a little quiet yesterday, but came off the bench to have a very big game in the second half. Against Leifer, they switched into a zone late into the game to try to combat his size. Look for them to do that to try to stop A.B. Perlow today.
Now moving to the other side of the ball, HAFTR's defense. We know they run a 2-3 matchup zone, and they use that size to really create problems and also create trapping situations and force turnovers. Frisch, on the other hand, in yesterday's game against DRS, did not shoot well, around 30% from the field, so they're going to look to ignite their offense. What do you think they need to do in terms of attacking this 2-3 zone?
Well, to attack the 2-3 zone, you need movement of the ball and of players. Look for Frisch's guards to move around, try to confuse the players on the HAFTR defense, and try to get open looks for Tyler Hode and Scott Levine. If Scott Levine had a quiet day yesterday. It's rare to have a player cold 2 days in a row. He'll need to get hot for Frisch to win the game today.
Hode had a quiet game in the first few quarters yesterday, but came on strong in the second half, hit 2 big threes in the 4th quarter, and finished the 4th quarter with 7 points. That was enormous. Additionally, their big man, their one big man really, Benny Tuckman, has been phenomenal on the season, averaging about a double-double. He had a tough test with Leifer yesterday. He has a perhaps even tougher test with Perlow today. We'll see if he can do what he needs to do.
And if they stick to man-to-man, the battle is going to be Tuckman and Perlow. But if they switch to a zone, it's not going to be that big of a battle.
From us here at MacsLive, this is Championship Monday. We'll be back with a championship matchup between the HAFTR Hawks and the Frisch Cougars. Stick with us. Welcome back to the Max Stern Athletics, and I have the privilege now of interviewing our own president, Richard Joel. President Joel, thank you so much for joining us on the MacsLive broadcast. It's a pleasure to have you.
It's always a pleasure to be with you, Mr. Pincha. Representing the proud city of Chicago, which did very well here, but is not in the finals because you weren't playing.
They did what they could. Winning Tier 2 is a good victory.
You bet.
On the topic of Sarachek, what does Sarachek mean to you personally and also to the university as a whole?
Look, Sarachek is the proof of the line that we always use, nowhere but here. There is just nowhere where it all comes together, frankly, for the young Jewish community and for the Jewish future. Right? To me, Sarachek represents vitality. Sarachek represents sportsmanship. Sarachek represents Achdus of Klal Yisrael. And Sarachek represents an invitation for these young people to know where their college years should be.
And speaking of young people showing the vitality and engaging in athletics, YU obviously revolutionary in having both yeshiva and the university under one roof, but also has an excellent athletic program. So what does it mean for Yeshiva University to also have an athletic program? And specifically, what contribution do you think new basketball coach Elliot Steinmetz will bring to the table?
Sure. Well, first of all, the whole key to Yeshiva University is that you get to live an integrated life. Okay, that means Torah, it means secular, it means chesed, it means sportsmanship, and it means athletics. It means that we want to be total people, and not only are we able to do so as Jews, we're mandated to do so as Jews. So that's great. We love our athletic program. Elliot Steinmetz is a wonderful new gift. We've always been proud of our basketball program, and we see a tremendous future ahead. We had a wonderful season this year, and it's only going to go up.
And you mentioned nowhere but here a minute ago in your first answer. I'm sure a lot of our frequent MacsLive watchers will see it in a lot of the YU ads. I'm wondering if you could expound a little bit more on what nowhere but here really means to you.
Look, I like talking about it positively because everything's here. The flip side of that is there isn't another place where it all comes together, where for a young person, they get to really find their wholeness, and they find 3,000 like-minded men and women who form their network forever. We're very serious about having young people being inspired to live a life that matters. And I don't think on a university that happens anywhere but here.
Thank you, President Joel. And last question, what is your presidential prediction for this game, Frisch Cougars against the HAFTR Hawks?
Oh, it's clear. One of them is going to win, but both of them are going to win. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, President Joel.
It's a great pleasure.
A pleasure. Okay, we're going to send it to a break, and we'll be back with the action in just a few moments. Stay right here on MacsLive.
Live from the Max Stern Athletic Center of Yeshiva University, it's the Red Sarachek Tournament on MacsLive.com.
He finds Lipner. Lipner, a 30-foot three. Good! Eli Lipner.
Now Lafer working. Lafer rejected by Himmelman.
Ball is stolen by Rubin. Colum pulls it out. Grant, a three, banks it in! Jonah Grant, unconscious right now.
Getting going here in the second half. Solomon up the glass, yes!
Tepler dribbles by two men. Stolen by Colum. Colum another steal, going against Teichman. Count it, and the foul! Beautiful, great cut to the basket. Left in the championship game. Flicks the defender. What a move.
Welcome back to the Wilf campus of Yeshiva University. Championship Monday. We're getting set for the Tier 1 championship game. This one's for all the marbles, and it will be a matchup between the HAFTR Hawks, #1 from Cedarhurst, New York, and the Frisch School Cougars, #3 seeded from Paramus, New Jersey. I'm here at Deer Pinchot alongside my partner, Josh Cohen, getting ready for what should be an exciting and intriguing matchup. The HAFTR Hawks looking to continue their reign of dominance after winning a number of tournaments, including the Yeshiva League Championship. We will now send you to the PA announcer for the starting lineups and the subsequent national anthem.
Where are you guys from? Very cool. All right. Don't let them intimidate you. Where are you guys from? Come on, guys. HAFTR. You know. All right, if I could. All right. If I could ask you to sit for a minute, if you can do that. If you can't do that, don't do that. I know it's hard. I promise 2 minutes. Just, can I have your attention? Which just means that everybody has to stop talking. It's always a wonderful high point for me to welcome you here on behalf of Yeshiva University, certainly for the Sarachek tournament, and for many of you, please God, this is the introduction, I hope, to many years at Yeshiva as students, because you know that the kind of almost the alma mater of Yeshiva is the statement, nowhere but here. And I have to tell you that there's nowhere but here that we have finer student, athlete, scholars, sports people than here at Yeshiva University and in our Jewish world. What a privilege for us to have 20 wonderful teams from across the land, so many others of you who come just to celebrate the vitality of our lives and the confidence in our future. Nowhere but here can you see the Jewish people as we aspire for us to be, whole, integrated, committed to Torah, committed to ideas, committed to success, committed to sportsmanship, committed to winning, but winning with all its dimensions. So it is my privilege and honor to welcome you here today and to congratulate both HAFTR and Frisch for getting to this wonderful point. So, last paragraph. There is a statement in Pirkei Avot. This is Hebrew. I need your attention here. There is a statement in Pirkei Avot. Yehuda ben Tema Omer Have Az Kanamer V'Kal Kanesher. Yehuda ben Tema says, be strong as a leopard and light as an eagle. I leave you today with the following blessing. May you be Ratz, Kapuma, V'Gibar Kanetz, swift as a cougar and brave as a hawk. Good luck. Thank you all very, very, very much. It's always a pleasure to have you.
Thanks, President. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Max Stern Athletic Center on the campus of Yeshiva University for the championship game of Tier 1 of the Red Sarachek basketball tournament. The championship game features the Cougars of the Frisch School. Taking on the Hawks of HAFTR. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you please rise and join our players, coaches, and officials with the playing of the United States and Israeli national anthems. And now, let's meet the starting lineup for this championship game. First, for the Cougars of the Frisch School. A senior, standing 5'11", number 12, Robbie Bernstein. A senior, standing 6'1", number 33, Tyler Hode. A junior, standing 5'11", number 23, Andrew Langer. A junior, standing 6'3", number 14, Scott Levine. And a senior, standing 6'3", number 53, Benny Tuchman. The Cougars are coached by Eli Davidoff. And now, here's the starting lineup for the HAFTR Hawks. A senior, standing 6'2", number 4, Jonathan Greenberg. A junior, standing 5'8", number 33, Sammy Mendel. A junior, standing 6'5", number 32, A.B. Perlo. A junior, standing 6 feet tall, number 21, Max Rossner. And a senior, standing 6'1", number 10, Michael Weissman. The Hawks of HAFTR are coached by Joey Hines. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to tip off the championship game of the Red Sarachek tournament.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the booth. My name is Adir Pinchot alongside my partner, Josh Cohen. We're getting set for tip-off here. The teams with one last huddle before this championship game. Everything on the line here on Championship Monday in the Max Stern Athletic Center. This is the 2015 edition of the Red Sarachek tournament. To recap how these teams have gotten here, the HAFTR Hawks and Frisch Cougars both coming out of the Yeshiva League. The Frisch Cougars with a 14-0 regular season, 21-2 overall. Lost a heartbreaking loss in the semifinals of the Yeshiva League playoffs. They lost their point guard, Mike Finkel, to a broken wrist in the first half. He didn't play at all in the second half, and they were defeated, upset by the DRS Wildcats. And HAFTR Hawks coming in, also 14-0 regular season, 27-1 overall. Their only loss to those DRS Wildcats in the finals of the Satran tournament. They've won the Cooper Invitational. They won the Yeshiva League just over a week ago here in this very gym, and now they're looking for the trifecta, for the Triple Crown, trying to bring back the Sarachek Championship back to Cedarhurst, New York. The team's now taking the floor. HAFTR Hawks, Frisch Cougars. We're ready for some Sarachek Championship basketball.
And interesting to note, even though these two teams play in the Yeshiva League, this is the first time they have faced each other. So they have not seen these players, including A.B. Perlow, Tyler Hode, these great players for Frisch and HAFTR. So a few nerves may be coming into this game, having never seen each other on the court.
Certainly a clashing of some different styles as well. HAFTR, a little bit of an all-around team, but definitely like to pound it into their big men, Rosner and Perlow. Here's the opening tick. HAFTR, with the win. Weissman now to lead the break. Frisch into their man-to-man, which they like to run so often. Perlau in the middle, losing it, picking it up, and then looking for his teammate Rosner on the left block. Can't find the ball, sails out of bounds.
Now we saw Frisch there in a man-to-man. We were wondering what they were going to come out in as a defense. We talked about it yesterday that Frisch, against a bigger opponent, switched almost into a 2-3 zone to try to limit the amount of offense they could do. But Frisch going with the man-to-man. We'll see the fight down low with A.B. Perlau.
HAFTR setting up in a matchup zone. Looks to be a 1-3-1 matchup zone. We'll see if Frisch can attack that. Their offense looked a little stagnant yesterday against DRS, not scoring much over 30 points. I believe it was 34. Their total shooting from around 30%. Here's Hode for three. Early three, in and out, no good. Weissman reeling in the rebound for the HAFTR Hawks.
And Tyler Hode looking to get on the scoreboard early, wanting to see that ball through. Had a big second quarter and second half yesterday's game to lead the Frisch Cougars back into the game and into the today's championship game. That would have been a big shot for Tyler Hode.
Bit of a miscommunication there, Greenberg and Weissman. Greenberg, the senior, motioning to his junior point guard to settle down, take his time. He looked to be a little rushed there. Greenberg was not ready for the pass. Here come Frisch working around the perimeter. They live and die by the three-point shot. Andrew Langer, the junior, swings it back to his point guard, the senior, Tyler Hode. Benny Tuckman now driving hard, bouncing off of Perlau's body, trying to get the floater to go. No good, but a rebound brought in by Andrew Langer.
Great offensive rebound there to fight over the HAFTR Hawks and get another possession for the Cougars.
The Frisch faithful coming out in immense numbers here. HAFTR Hawks not too bad themselves. The gym is full. There is electricity in the air. Langer driving baseline now looking for Levine. The big man can shoot. No good. In and out. Greenberg with a rebound.
And Levine on that possession back and forth across the baseline trying to find the open shot. They finally get it to him. It doesn't fall. He needs to get hot for Frisch to win the game today.
Greenberg now swings it to Mandel. Driving. Floater in the lane. No good. But a foul is called. Looks like that will be against Robbie Bernstein, number 12 of the Frisch Cougars. So Mandel will go to the free throw stripe for two. 0-0 so far. 5 minutes and 55 seconds left in the first quarter of this championship game, and the score will remain 0 as Mandel rims out on the first. Silence in the stadium as he lines up his second free throw. It is up and in, nothing but net. Mandel knocking it in, and we have a 1-0 HAFTR lead.
You talked about silence. Frisch is behind the bench. Their stands are packed. HAFTR a little late getting to the game, but they filed in, and their fans are packed full, and they are applauding that swat there by HAFTR.
HAFTR extending their zone defense, looking for a trap at half court. A nice pass over the entire defense, finding, I believe it was Levine, who they handed it off for a teammate, but swatted by Mandel. A good job recovering after a defensive lapse by Mandel. Ball to be thrown in from Andrew Langer of the Frisch Cougars.
And we talked about the movement needed for Frisch to break this pressure as a turnover there by point guard Robbie Bernstein over and back off the inbounds play.
The refs will debate whether Bernstein had possession. If he did, it'll be over the back, but they decide that he did not have possession of the ball. They reverse the call. Seems to be a good call on behalf of the refs, and they will send it back to the Frisch Cougars. Coach Joey Honig of HAFTR having a conversation, not getting his way. A sly smile at the far side ref, but to no avail.
But that's what you like to see, the referees gathering together, getting the call right, not playing into the game. They want to stay out of the game as much as possible.
Hode from the left corner pocket off the back iron, no good. HAFTR finally almost nearly corralling the ball. And a hard foul. Andrew Langer scooped it up. And Michael Weissman came flying in, knocking him to the ground. So the foul will be on the floor. Frisch will get it under HAFTR's basket.
And Andrew Langer is the player that came in for Mike Finkel when he broke his wrist. He needs to start playing. He's been playing well. He needs to continue playing well for Frisch to have any chance in today's game.
And Benny Tuckman from the left elbow knocks it down. Benny Tuckman with an early two, and Frisch is up 2-1. Mandel coming right back, airballing on a layup from in close. Here come Frisch now, 2-on-1 break. The layup for Andrew Langer is knocked away. Good defense there by Michael Weissman. It will stay with Frisch.
Great defense there by Weissman, as you said before, to track back off the missed layup. Frisch trying to break a 2-on-1 almost, but Weissman gets the strip, and it goes out of bounds, but it will stay with Frisch.
Tuckman now at the top of the key. Frisch taking their time. Working around ball to Tyler Hode. Hode quiet in the first few quarters yesterday, but came out huge for the Frisch Cougars in the last quarter, knocking down 2 big three-pointers and finishing with 7 points in the fourth quarter. And an out-of-bounds call called against Benny Tuckman. Also a major contributor to the stat sheet for these Frisch Cougars, trying to get something going in deep there, but getting called for putting his foot on the line.
But you can see what Frisch is trying to do to break this matchup zone. Benny Tuckman, every possession, has been sliding up to the free throw line to get the ball, try to face up the basket, try to face up A.B. Perlau, who got into a little bit of foul trouble early in the first half. They're maybe trying to do that here today.
After taking their time working the ball, they like to get it into A.B. Perlau on the high post. Couldn't get it to go there. The floater missed by Sammy Mandel, and then the putback also missed by A.B. Perlau. A fadeaway jumper from Hode. The kiss! Bank is open. Tyler Hode knocking it in. 4-1 Frisch.
And Tyler Hode getting that shot off, a hard shot off the glass. As a basketball player, you want to see the ball through the net. He was 0 for 2 before. Look for him to get hot.
You're seeing Hode being very aggressive in the early going. A floater from Greenberg, also no good. A wrestle for the rebound, goes out of bounds. It will stay with the HAFTR Hawks. A lob pass into Perlau, but a foul is called as he received the ball.
Finally a foul there called for A.B. Perlau. Coach Honig seems that he's been getting fouled a lot, not been getting a call there, but finally gets a call as he tries to dominate the low glass, goes up, misses the layup, but he'll go to the line for 2.
Perlau making a strong power dribble into the lane and then going up strong. He got fouled. Benny Tuckman behind him didn't maintain his defensive stance, didn't keep his hand straight up, had a little bit of an arch to his arms, and the contact with A.B. Perlau results in a foul.
But it's 3:44 left in the first quarter. We already see the battle forming between Perlau and Tuckman. I can't wait to see how it develops.
Perlau with an enormous contribution yesterday, 16 points and 6 rebounds. Adding to that was his running mate, Max Rosner, the other big man in the middle for the HAFTR Hawks, with 12 and 5 in yesterday's victory against Eula. Checking into the game now for Frisch is number 30, Mayer Charlotte. He can knock it down. He had a big game on Friday, but struggled yesterday, 0 for 4 from behind the three-point arc. So we'll see if they can get him going here. Here he is with the ball. 4-3, Frisch over HAFTR, 3 minutes and 38 seconds left in this Tier 1 championship matchup.
And we spoke about it before. Levine as well, not shooting as great as he could yesterday. Look, those two, one of them needs to get hot and they can win the game today.
An absolutely sensational bounce pass from Tyler Hode to Benny Tuckman, who finds himself with an easy layup. Here on the other end, Benny Tuckman wrestling the rebound away from Max Rosner. Frisch picking up a little momentum here. Here comes Hode pulling up for a 3, left wing on the break off the front iron. Tuckman skying for another rebound and drawing the foul as Michael Weissman pushed him from behind.
And Tyler Hode on the break pulls up at a three-pointer. I think he maybe could have slowed that ball down a little bit. Frisch up 6-3. Try to get the movement. They've been doing it well. They've been getting Tuckman to the free throw line. Look for them to continue doing that and slow the game down.
And Brian Nathan, the 6th man for the HAFTR Hawks, checking in. He's number 1, and here he is with a steal. Nathan with a errant behind the back pass. It was a nice idea. Would have been pretty snazzy if he got it to go, but it goes behind John Greenberg, who outran the ball, and it sails out of bounds.
But you took the words right out of my mouth. An errant pass on the inbounds, an errant pass for HAFTR leads to 2 turnovers. Frisch stays with the ball.
And here's HAFTR, another errant pass for Mayer Charlotte. He'll have to get his feet settled under him. Here come the HAFTR Hawks. Nathan driving, but the ball's turned over. Steal for Benny Tuckman. Tuckman, a monster, averaging a double-double of 12 points and 10 rebounds on the season. Had 8 and 7 yesterday, in addition to guarding Gabe Leifer for much of the game. Here's Tuckman up at the rim, can't finish. Perlau brings them the rebound.
But I like what they're doing. I just talked about it. Frisch getting Tuckman at the free throw line. He's facing up. He's going against Perlau, trying to get the foul.
And a timeout is called by Coach Joey Honig. Apparently not liking what he's seeing. Seems to be a 30-second timeout. Josh, going in terms of strategy now, Frisch, we said, likes to play a man-to-man. We saw them switch into a zone yesterday against Gabe Leifer. They've been in a man here today. Do you see that continuing? How have they been able to limit HAFTR to 3 points, and do you see them sticking with the man-to-man?
Absolutely. It's been working for them. As you said, up 6-3. Perlau's not getting the ball where he likes it. He's not underneath the basket, not getting those easy shots. Maybe it's because of foul, maybe it's not. But Frisch is doing something right as they have a 6-3 lead.
Definitely a good start for Frisch. You're seeing offensively Tyler Hode being very aggressive. Hasn't knocked down a ton of his shots yet, but as we mentioned, he got hot at the end of yesterday's game, so he can pour it in a hurry. We'll see who else can step up for Frisch. Another, also Benny Tuckman, all over the floor, as he often is, contributing in a major way.
But Rosner was the key to HAFTR yesterday. Early on in the game, that's when he scored his points because everyone was focusing on Perlau. Look for HAFTR to get him into the game as we see him go up for a layup and one right as I say that.
My goodness, what a pass from A.B. Perlau, a touch pass, receiving the lob pass in the lane, and without even catching it, knocking it to his teammate Rosner, who then employs a phenomenal pump fake, getting his defender in the air, and then able to finish for the bucket and the and one opportunity.
Because like I said, everyone is focusing on Perlau. It leaves Rosner wide open on the block.
Rosner knocking it in to tie the game 6-6. The Frisch Cougars and the HAFTR Hawks all knotted up in this championship battle with just over 2 minutes left in the first quarter. Noah Schechter now recently checked into the game for the Frisch Cougars, setting up the offense. He's described by Coach Joe Schwartz as a floor leader, so he will take over point guard duties for Tyler Hode.
And these are the key moments for Frisch. With Tyler Hode out of the game, someone needs to take over as we see a nice move there.
A beautiful left-handed scoop shot from Andrew Langer, the junior. HAFTR handling the pressure coming from Frisch. Perlau driving with his left down the lane. Too big, too strong, A.B. Perlau.
And if he gets to the basket, it's so hard to stop him when he's on the run.
Underrated Perlau, not only with a wide repertoire of post moves, but also able to handle the rock. And when he gets in a face-off position, he can go off the dribble as he did there, owning the baseline. Frisch now, a tough forced shot by Noah Schechter, is off the bottom of the backboard. Here's the shot now from Sammy Mendel, clanking it off the iron. Greenberg driving into the heart of the defense. Short, Perlau ripping away the rebound and putting it back in for two.
He's starting to get going. He's starting to get where he wants to be, close to the basket. He has 4 quick points here.
And just like that, HAFTR with their first lead in a while. 10-8 HAFTR over Frisch with 37 seconds left in the first quarter.
I would like to remind everybody listening from afar, if you have anything to say, any shout-outs, questions, please send it to the Clipped Keepa's inbox here at feedback@MacsLive.com.
Frisch seems to be holding for the final shot of the quarter. Taking their time, HAFTR content with laying back in their defense, waiting for them to make a move.
But I think that's okay. We saw Perlau have 4 quick points. They don't want him to have another chance at the ball.
Absolutely right. Momentum is key here. 6 seconds left now. Charlotte with the ball on the right side. Trying to do something. 2 seconds. Tuckman with a long three-pointer. That will air short. And at the end of the first quarter, 10-8, the HAFTR Hawks over the Frisch Cougars in this championship matchup, championship battle. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back here with some more Sarachek basketball. Welcome back. The crowd is getting into it here on the Yeshiva University Wilf campus. Championship basketball. We've got the #1 seeded HAFTR Hawks against the #3 Frisch Cougars. We're going to send you to our sideline correspondent, Avi J. Schwartz.
Hi, guys. I was listening to Coach Schwartz in the huddle. He's talking about how the team is going to try to get the ball to Mayor Charlotte, as he's currently the best shooter that's on the floor right now. They think that if they get it to Charlotte, they'll have a lot more chances at getting back in the lead, possibly from hitting three-pointers. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Avi J. Charlotte, we mentioned, had a big game for the Frisch Cougars on Friday, but yesterday struggling, scoring only 7 points on 3 of 7 from the field and 0 of 4 from behind the three-point arc. Josh, rehashing recapping this first quarter. What have you seen from specific players and who needs to keep momentum going?
Well, we see 2 players for HAFTR Hawks. Both the players we talked about before, Avi Perlau and Max Rosner, shooting 100%. Avi Perlau 2 for 2 and 2 for 2 from the line. But at the same time, on the Frisch side, not as good. Tyler Hode 1 for 4, 0 for 3 from the three-point land. He needs to start getting hot here in the second quarter.
And despite their shooting woes, which have continued from yesterday's game, the Frisch Cougars still within 2, 10-8 HAFTR lead with a half of a minute gone by in this second quarter. Here's Mayor Charlotte looking for his shot. HAFTR doing a nice job of containing him. Noah Schechter driving to lane, can't handle the pass, but it goes to Langer, who knocks it in off the backboard. Andrew Langer with a nice floater off the backboard.
Andrew Langer's been a huge part of the Frisch offense so far. He's going to need to continue it as we see Tyler Hode still out of the game for the Frisch Cougars.
Hode getting an extended break, point guard duties being taken over by Noah Schechter. Here's a shot from the baseline, knocking it down is Brian Nathan, the 6th man for the HAFTR Hawks.
A great pump fake on the pass there for Brian Nathan, getting him free on the baseline for an open jumper.
Charlotte looked like he was going to hawk up a 3 there. Wisely chose to keep it as it was being contested. Here's Charlotte again to Benny Tuckman. Tuckman, a big contributor for the Frisch Cougars, can play inside and out. Here he's going strong from the left, trying to finish with the right hand, a little double pump action, couldn't get it to go. Here come the HAFTR Hawks on the break, and a foul is called as Sammy Mandel going up strong. A controversial call. The fans didn't like it, but the foul is called nonetheless, and Mandel will go to the line, fouled by Isaac Weinstock.
As I think it was a foul. I think maybe a little late on the referee's call. Might have looked if it went in and not to call the foul, but he calls the foul there, and they'll go to the line for 2. And as Sammy Mandel hits this shot, I would like to thank one of our sponsors, the Step It Up basketball program. Sammy Mandel, one of the former 6-week campers. You can see how the free throw shooting is paying off as he misses the second one. But Coach Yoga Berdugo, now the assistant coach, the head of that wonderful program, worked with Coach Schwartz. We see some implementations of what Coach Berdugo taught him. Here, as we see Frisch with an easy layup.
Perlau clearly frustrated there as he thought he had backup behind him. Nothing there, and Benny Tuckman finding his open teammate Andrew Langer for an easy layup. That's too easy. HAFTR cannot allow baskets that quickly.
But that's the ball movement that we talked about before. That's how you beat a zone like HAFTR's. You move the ball's going to move quicker than the man.
HAFTR liking to apply pressure and bring their defenders up around the top of the three-point line, and thus creating some openings underneath down on the baseline. So Frisch taking advantage of it there. We'll see if they can continue. Greenberg slicing and dicing and finishing with the right hand.
Strong move there by Greenberg to go to the hole strong with the player on his back.
A big move by Greenberg. He's their penetrator. HAFTR creating offense off the dribble. Here's Mayor Charlotte with a long three-pointer, no good, but he's bumped by Brian Nathan on the way down and will go to the line for 3 free throws and a chance to tie this game at 15.
But no matter if they're cold, Frisch still shooting the ball, getting rewarded for that. Mayor Charlotte went 0 for 4 yesterday, but it's good to see he's not losing confidence. He's continuing to shoot, and he'll go to the line for 3 free throws.
Coach Joey Honig calling over Brian Nathan, trying to settle him down. Not a wise decision there to get too close to the three-point shooter. Charlotte knocks down the first. He'll try to take advantage of this second. Knocks it down again. Calm, cool, and collected is Mayor Charlotte, making it look easy from the free throw stripe.
Free throws, in my opinion, especially here in Sarachek, are where games are won and lost.
And 3 for 3 is Mayor Charlotte, as Robbie Bernstein for the Frisch Cougars will replace him. He will head to the bench. Here comes a little pressure from the Frisch Cougars. They're small, very guard-centric, so they'll like to throw HAFTR off of their offensive rhythm. Greenberg, the primary ball handler for HAFTR when they face pressure. Had his shoulder injury in yesterday's game, looks to be okay, playing with confidence here today. A long three-pointer from Sammy Mandel is off the mark. Max Rosner fighting for the rebound, brings it in, but then the ball stripped away. He wanted a foul but didn't get it. Here comes Langer, himself losing the ball. Scrum on the floor. Greenberg recovers, dribbles himself up. A nice play by John Greenberg, not getting called for the travel, but getting himself up off the floor with the dribble. Here's Nathan for 3. No good, short. Tuckman with the rebound, he will lead the break. And then wisely pull the ball back out and find his point guard, Noah Schechter.
This game was about to open up wide if Benny Tuchman continued on that fast break. Wisely slowed it down, but you have to wonder, Tyler Hote still out of the game for Frisch.
15-15 with 4:44 left in this second quarter. Frisch taking their time offensively, working the ball around. Here's Tuchman from the right elbow now. He hit one from the left elbow earlier, no good. Rosner with the rebound. Strong rebound from Rosner, good protection of the ball. Greenberg taking over the point guard duties, calling out the offensive set for HAFTR. Finds Rosner in the corner for a baseline jumper, no good. Frisch looking to push. And a fantastic double pump finish from number 13, Isaac Weinstock, off the bench.
Greenberg needs to be a little stronger there for me. Get your body set. This is championship. This is the Tier 1 championship. Put your body on the line for your team.
Frisch taking advantage of their speed, pushing the pace a little bit here and trying to shift the momentum. They have a 2-point lead. Here comes Schechter down the middle, finding Langer.
On that last possession, great position there by Benny Tuchman to get in front of the bigger Perlau to intercept the ball as they try to get the ball to him. Great position there on defense.
And a timeout called by Frisch Cougar coach Joe Schwartz. Not necessarily an instructional timeout, and as his team has been on a bit of a run here, 17-15. But I'm sure they'll like to talk it over. Josh, what could have been the reason for this timeout? What do you think they're talking over in the Frisch huddle as we speak?
I think the game kind of was getting a little wide open, as we talked about before. A lot of up and down, maybe not the best shots. Just a little bit of calming down for Coach Schwartz, running the possession, running the plays, trying to continue what they were doing and getting Tuchman the ball at the free throw line. Spot up jumper as he did on both sides of the free throw line, or taking it into Perlau, trying to get him in foul trouble. As Perlau did get in a little bit of foul trouble yesterday, he had to sit for a little bit in the second quarter. I don't believe he has any fouls today. Tuchman needs to be a lot stronger going up to him and going strong against Perlau.
And our sources are telling us that in the Frisch huddle, Coach Joe Schwartz emphasizing that his team needs to play tough defense and try to force turnovers. We've seen it a little bit here. It seems like he liked a little bit what he was seeing and wants to encourage his team to go with it. In terms of the HAFTR sideline, we're told that they're going to look for A.B. Perlau on the elbow in the high post. They've gotten away from that. They do that often. They've gotten away from it a little bit here in the early going. They'll try to reestablish and settle back into their game plan. A beautiful take there from Andrew Langer, who before that was 3 of 4 from the field. A fantastic junior. Couldn't get it to go there, clearly frustrated with himself, but no time to worry. He's got to get back and guard Jonathan Greenberg.
Great screen there by Frisch to allow him to get to the basket. Unfortunately, he missed the layups as a 3 is not knocked down there for Mandel.
And Mandel's 3 rolls in and out, and now going strong to the basket. Andrew Langer still being aggressive. Langer last year was one of the best players in the JV Yeshiva League season, putting up big numbers right up there with A.B. Perlau and Gabe Leifer. So we're seeing his talent here. Langer is taking it hard to the hole, being aggressive, and Frisch Cougars are certainly welcoming his contributions.
Well, with Mike Finkel out with a broken wrist, Tyler Hote still sitting down. He's been the player so far to take over this game for Frisch. They have an 18-15 lead with 2:43 left in the first half.
And with that, Langer knocks in his 7th point of the game. And he finishes another free throw. So 19-15, Frisch's biggest lead in quite some time. 4-point lead with under 3 minutes to go in this first half. Championship Monday, here we are, the championship of Tier 1 in the Sarachek Invitational. HAFTR going for the three-peat, the trifecta, the triple crown. They've already won the Cooper Invitational Memphis and the Yeshiva League Championship, trying to be the first team ever to win the triple crown. A lot on the line, and Frisch trying to avenge a semifinal loss that they had in a disappointing end to their Yeshiva League season with a championship here at Sarachek. Benny Tuchman going hard off the glass, too strong, and a foul called on John Greenberg, who was trying to take it away from Charlotte, who had reeled in the offensive rebound.
And not only is Frisch trying to avenge the loss in the semis, they were the original #1 seed, but after that happened, HAFTR, the new #1 seed, also 0-4 in Sarachek championship games. Don't want to become 0-5 here.
Excellent point. About a week before Sarachek, Josh, as you were saying, the Frisch Cougars were the intended #1 seed, but a dramatic reseeding occurred after the HAFTR Hawks defeated the DRS Wildcats in the championship of the Yeshiva League playoffs. HAFTR becoming the #1 seed and Frisch falling to #3, so the Frisch Cougars looking to prove themselves here. A shot from Rosner from straight away, no good.
Great board there by Perlow, but it was swarmed by Frisch, unfortunately committing the foul. That's what Perlow needs to do. He needs to be strong with the ball. And he'll go to the line as a reward for that. Referee's calling it as a shooting foul.
Coach Joey Honig calling his guard Sammy Mendel to talk things over. This is a 1-and-1. The foul was on the floor. And seeing as Frisch has committed 7 fouls this half, HAFTR in the bonus for the final 2 minutes. 19-15 Frisch over HAFTR. Charlotte dialing up a 3 from the right side. Back iron, no good.
And it's incredible to see Frisch not shooting so well, yet still have a 19-15 lead.
Number 35, Sasha Stern with the bright green shoes into the game for the HAFTR Hawks. Greenberg thought about a 3, chose to drive. Rosner picking up his loose ball, pump faking and getting the ball swatted by Noah Schechter, but a foul is called and Rosner will go to the free throw line.
Schechter thought he got all ball there, but great defense to slide down, get the help, try to get the block, but called for the foul there.
Always a tough scenario when the offensive player gets you on his back. Not easy to get a block off cleanly. And even when you might get it off cleanly, the refs have a tendency to call a foul nonetheless. You saw it there as Rosner will shoot his second free throw. No good, in and out.
But over the last few possessions, we see Rosner getting involved in the game, something we talked about going into the second quarter. He has done that so far with Perlow being the main key. Frisch knows that. Rosner's getting into the game now.
You see Scott Levine getting pushed out of bounds there on that rebound. Not in the bonus yet. Another foul to give if you're the HAFTR Hawks. But to mention Scott Levine is a known three-point marksman, but in his last game yesterday, only 3 points on 1 of 8 from the field. So struggling a little bit along with a number of the other Frisch Cougars in yesterday's game. Frisch Cougars shooters not yet finding their touch, but we've seen Andrew Langer coming up big for them in the early going. And John Greenberg, an important development with 2 fouls, so he's out of the game. Sasha Stern subbing in for him, along with number 22, Benji Nierenberg, who's getting his first minutes for the HAFTR Hawks. A long 3, no good, but an offensive rebound by Langer, who's been all over the floor.
Langer's been so clutch for Frisch right now. Their guard star with them missing shots. He's taken over. He's getting rebounds. He's getting points as Perlow is strong there, move to the basket.
Perlow sensational, starting the break with a phenomenal outlet pass and then running the floor like no other big men can, receiving the ball and going up strong. Perlow showing the full arsenal of skills on that possession. And with 35 seconds left, Frisch, again, as we saw at the end of the first quarter, looking to hold for the final shot. They're up 1, a slim lead for the Frisch Cougars over the HAFTR Hawks in this championship game of the 2015 Sarachek tournament. 19-18, 20 seconds now left on the clock. Charlotte with the ball.
And with this slowdown in play, I'd like to thank some of our sponsors, all the food sponsors, Carlson Gabby, Smokey Joe's, Gotham Burger, and the T-Neck Doghouse. Thank you so much for feeding the MacsLive staff as we see
Mayor
Charlotte
with his first points off the game, receiving the rebound and then putting it in. And with that, 21-18, Frisch over HAFTR. As the first half comes to a close, a 3-point lead from Frisch on an offensive rebound and put back by Mayor Charlotte. In the closing seconds, we're going to send you to Avi J on the sideline for an interview with the Frisch coach.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Coach Schwartz. Coach, you are 16 minutes away from winning your first Sarachek championship. What do you want to do in the second half to really maintain this lead?
We got to maintain our defensive pressure. Our intensity is fantastic. They're not getting any easy looks, especially underneath. They're very tough to guard underneath because of their size, but we're collapsing. We're making it very hard for them. So as long as we keep doing that in the second half, we have an excellent chance. We'll eventually make our shots.
Got it. What do you think you can do better in the second half that you weren't necessarily doing that well in the first half?
I'd like us to move the ball a little quicker, but we're not. But I would like us to make some shots because we're getting opportunities.
Fair enough. All right, thanks, Coach. Back to you guys in the booth.
Avi J, thank you for that information from Coach Joe Schwartz. Frisch looking to win their first Sarachek title. They're 0-4 in Sarachek championship games. For a Deer Pinch on Josh Cohn, we're going to send you to a quick break, and we'll be back with our halftime show, including an interview from YU Macs head basketball coach Elliot Steinmetz. We'll be back in a few minutes.
The early days, when I started Step It Up in 2009, I had a vision, but I wasn't sure exactly where it would take me. We started with one private training session, an hour on the court, myself and a player, one-on-one skill development, and when I left that session, I knew I was on the verge of something special.
This is our third year this year. So that first year, we had like 25 kids. We just gave them everything we got from them, that base. Word started to spread, and we've grown since.
Although Step It Up has grown immensely in the last 3 years, that Yogev has really mastered giving the kids the type of attention they need.
What he's developed over the last 3 years, and as far as the coaching skill, his development skills, and just the whole program in itself, it's just really, unbelievable what he's done.
It was very important for me to grow the right way. I knew that quality will always stay above quantity. And when we hit our numbers, I said to my guys, let's give these kids the best summer they've ever had.
The coaches are amazing and the counselors are amazing. The kids really do feel a good connection to them. And I think, very safe, good environment here.
He takes great pride in the people that he hires to work with the kids.
We're big brothers. We're not just coaches. We're not just former players. We're guys that can create a relationship, sustain a relationship, and these kids take it back with them and they explain to their friends, parents, their family what they really got out of this program, and it's just more than basketball.
I have 2 kids in camp, 3 nephews in camp, 10 different family friends in camp, so we got a big group here that we're proud of that are here. And the amazing thing is that every kid says they're getting better. And now on visiting day, when I'm here, you actually see what they're talking about.
Step It Up's goal is to establish the brand, establish the quality, and then take our show on the road. What we're doing changes lives.
Live from the Max Stern Athletic Center of Yeshiva University, it's the Red Sarachek Tournament on MacsLive.com.
He finds Lipner. Lipner, a 30-foot three. Good! Ellie Lipner.
Now Leifer working. Leifer rejected by Himmelman.
Ball is stolen by Rubin. Colum pulls it out. Grant, a three, banks it in! Jonah Grant unconscious right now.
Getting going here in the second half. Solomon up the glass, yes!
Kepler dribbles by 2 men. Stolen by Colum. Colum another steal. Going against Teichman. Count it and the foul.
Welcome back for the championship game between HAFTR and Frisch. I'm Adir Pinchot alongside Josh Cohn. With us in the booth, a special guest, Coach Elliot Steinmetz, who not only is the coach of the YU Macs, but as we mentioned, HAFTR trying to be the 3rd team to win both the Yeshiva League as well as Sarachek. The first team to do that was 1997 Rambam, coached by Joey Honig and featuring junior guard, star guard, Elliot Steinmetz. So a lot of history here. Coach, you took over the YU basketball program this year. What did it mean for you both moving up from high school to the college level and also playing at your alma mater, Yeshiva University?
Sure, it was a big adjustment for me. It certainly was. I mean, our year definitely had ups and downs, as everybody saw. Following you guys, obviously, with MacsLive throughout the year, a lot of ups and downs, and it was a big learning experience. It was certainly an honor, and it was a ton of fun. But it's a big adjustment, and it's something that we're working very hard on still every day now in the off season, so we can make sure we're better next year.
Well, it seemed like you did a great job. In your first season, you had a 14-11 record, 11-7 in the conference. You made the playoffs. What were some of those adjustments and challenges that you had to make, and how did you overcome them?
I think the biggest one for us is the length of the game. High school game is 32 minutes. College game is 40. You get up 20 points in a college game early in the game, or even early second half, and everybody can play and everybody can shoot, and that game is not over, especially with shot clock, which is the other adjustment from the Yeshiva League, right? No shot clock in the Yeshiva League. You get a lead, you can kind of milk the clock. College, you don't get to do that. So we found ourselves struggling a little bit in the end of the season to hold on to some leads, something we need to get better at next year.
And I know as a soccer player for the Yeshiva Maccabees, I know athletics is growing as a program here. What are your goals for the future of this basketball team?
Our goals are simple. They should be probably what anyone else in our conference and in Division III's goals are. Our goals are to win the Skyline Conference first, get into the NCAA tournament, and eventually compete for a national championship.
And now moving to for the last question, to move to this specific game, Coach, what have you seen from Frisch and HAFTR so far? Frisch with a narrow lead, and what is we had the presidential prediction from from President Joe before the game. What would be your prediction going forward?
Well, what did he say?
He said one team will win, but we're all winners, something along those lines.
Politician. I won't necessarily make a prediction. What I've seen so far, I think that Frisch has done a fantastic job fronting the big man. I think ultimately the game comes down to possessions. If Perlau is able to get secondary touches or secondary chances for HAFTR on possessions down the stretch, I think they'll have a better chance to win. On the other side, you have a guard-heavy team in Frisch. They shoot the ball well. They attack the basket well. If they're able to get out in transition, knock down a couple of outside shots, I think that they'll have the edge.
You heard it here. Coach Steinmetz, thank you for joining us at Dear Pinch Out Josh Cole. We're going to be back in a few minutes to discuss a little bit more about this first half and then bring you the second half of this championship game, Frisch Cougars versus HAFTR Hawks.
Thank you, guys.
Live from the Max Stern Athletic Center of Yeshiva University, it's the Red Sarachek Tournament on MacsLive.com.
He finds Lipner. Lipner, a 30-foot three. Good! Ellie Lipner.
Now Leifer working. Leifer rejected by Himmelman.
Ball is stolen by Rubin. Colum pulls it out. Grant, a three, banks it in! Jonah Grant, unconscious right now.
Getting going here in the second half. Solomon, up the glass, yes!
Tepler dribbles by two men. Stolen by Colum. Colum, another steal, going against Teichman. Conant, and the foul.
And Coach Honig, thank you for standing with me. Close game in the first half. What worked well for you?
Not much.
All right. With that said, what message did you give to your team in the locker room going into the second half?
We probably had a worst half of the season. We didn't defend well. We were 0 for whatever from the outside. We didn't make one shot. I'm happy. We're going to win this game.
All right, good luck. Back to you in the booth.
Thank you, Ari. Coach Honig expressing some of his frustration after the first half, but not dismaying. He's still fully confident that his team will come back and win this game. They're still very much in it, only down 3. Josh, talking about the HAFTR offensive attack, which has been so potent as of late, how has Frisch been able to hold them to 18 points?
Well, I think it's just what Coach Steinmetz talked about. They've been able to get good position on A.B. Perlau, not allow him to have the ball, and no one has stepped up in his place.
And the ball is in. We start the second half of the 2015 Sarachek Tier 1 final between the Frisch Cougars from Paramus, New Jersey, and the HAFTR Hawks, the number 1 seed, the favorites from Cedarhurst, New York. HAFTR in a 3-point hole coming out of the half. Here's Benny Tuckman and Tyler Hode, who sat much of the end of that first half, back in the game leading the Frisch attack.
Yeah, I believe he sat for the last minute of the first quarter and all of the second quarter. Finally back in the game as he misses his first 3 attempt there.
Hode's 3 is off, but Tuckman skying in, elevating and floating for the rebound, and then throwing the ball away. John Greenberg now slicing and dicing and getting to the foul line.
Greenberg's doing a little bit trying to get to the basket, but as we talked about, as we just said, no one's trying to take over in Perlau, in what hasn't been the greatest game for Perlau, no one stepped up for HAFTR. Greenberg's trying to do a little bit, taking it to the hole strong there. Misses the layup, go to line for 2.
Greenberg, a sensational senior season. His stats speak for themselves, averaging 17 points and 9 rebounds overall in the Yeshiva League. And in his last game yesterday in their victory, scoring 11 points and grabbing 7 rebounds, and really coming on strong in the third quarter where HAFTR expanded their lead. He had a buzzer-beating 3-point step back from straight away, top of the key at the end of the third quarter. That was basically the dagger in the heart of the Eula Panthers. So Greenberg looking to continue his momentum. 7 minutes and 16 seconds left. 2-point game. Frisch in the lead, but not by much. And looks to be a referee's timeout as Benny Tuckman appears to have been poked in the eye.
And going back to what we said about HAFTR, someone needs to be stepping up. It's funny because when we ask, who are you looking for? Who's that star player, Coach Honig? He says, well, do you have room to list all 14? He says they do not look at one player. At any given day, anybody can step up, and I haven't seen it here today.
They generally play a team game, but offensively they like to work it into Perlau at the top of the key. And as Coach Elliott Simons told us during halftime, Frisch doing an excellent job of fronting and denying that entry pass, which has really upset the entire balance of the HAFTR offense. HAFTR now defensively in their matchup zone. There comes Scott Levine. HAFTR crowd wanted to travel, but he might have gotten away with one there. Here comes Andrew Langer, getting stuck on the baseline, but finding his point guard, Tyler Hode, at the top of the key.
And something that else points to it is HAFTR not getting a lot of offensive rebounds. Frisch, as we say, finishing the defensive possession is a huge key here.
Andrew Langer showing off the ice water in his veins in this championship game, the junior, stepping up big. Frisch's leading scorer thus far, knocking down a big-time jump shot from the elbow.
Andrew Langer with 8 big points for Frisch as he's the one stepping up today for them.
And you see Perlau now trying to work hard to get the ball in the post. He gets it now on the give and go with Rosner. A nice play, catching Benny Tuckman sleeping. Perlau finding position, receiving the pass, and finishing strong at the basket.
Because with 2 big men moving like that, you don't know who you should guard. You don't know where you should be. It's causing confusion, and Rosner and Perlau were able to communicate there, and Perlau with an easy bucket.
They have a lot of muscle down there in the painted area, and they're going to need to pound the smaller Frisch Cougar defense if they're going to be successful in coming back. A beautiful no-look pass, super sensational Tyler Hode. No-look cross-court pass to Benny Tuckman, wide open for the layup.
That's why Tyler Hode needs to be on the court. His vision, his shooting, an all-around player there, and we saw it right there.
That was a big-time pass, a big-time point guard. Tyler Hode. Here's Mandel to Weissman at the top of the key. Greenberg driving hard, shuffles it to Rosner. Rosner going up strong and finishing.
And the last 2 buckets were traded off between Rosner and Perlau. They're starting to click. They're starting to get close to the basket, and they're starting to get easy shots.
25-23 with under 5 minutes left in the third quarter. Here's Langer swatted from behind by Weissman. Langer with it back and then finishes the and one, and the Frisch crowd goes crazy.
Langer there, getting the ball back off the swat, putting up another shot, not afraid, getting the foul, going to the line for an and one. Great play there by Langer.
Langer is making the most of his opportunities, able to maintain his composure and knock the shot down before being knocked hard to the floor. Langer readjusting his headband after that collision. He'll get a chance for one more. The Frisch crowd quiet with their spirit fingers, and nothing but net. Langer knocking it in. 28-23, biggest lead in quite some time for Frisch. 5 points with under 5 minutes left in the third quarter. 13 points now for Andrew Langer, who has been lighting it up. Mandel going strong to the bucket. Can't get it to go. Perlau fighting for the rebound and then throwing the ball off of Mayor Charlotte, who made a valiant effort in trying to escape that ball, but it went off of his leg and winds up out of bounds.
Great play there by Perlau, but we're starting to see him move a lot more than he did in the first half, getting the ball in different spots, not staying at the low block, and an offensive rebound there. Another chance. That's what Coach Simons talked about. When he gets offensive rebounds, you can't stop him.
Benny Tuckman with his hands up saying, what can I do? Nothing he could do there. Perlow putting up a shot in the lane, and then Tuckman doing the right thing, trying to move Perlow out with the box out. Unfortunately, Perlow ended up with the offensive rebound, and Tuckman continuing the box out gets called for a defensive foul. Perlow now with a chance for an and one. Rims in, out, and finally drops for A.B. Perlow. 28-26, one possession game now with 4 minutes and 24 seconds left.
7 points here in the third quarter. 7 points for Perlow and Rosner.
And a long three-pointer from Scott Levine is no good. Another significant development. 3 fouls now for Benny Tuckman. Benny Tuckman, with the nearly impossible task of guarding Perlow underneath, needs to be careful now with the fouls. He's a major contributor on both defense and offense for Frisch. Frisch finally getting a stop on the defensive end. The ball nearly thrown away by Charlotte. Tuckman with it back. Found a teammate underneath, but the foul is called as he was making the pass to Scott Levine, who was wide open.
Unfortunately for Tuckman, he made a nice pass, but fouled just before he got it off. It will stay on the baseline, and Tuckman will have to check out of the game with 3 fouls, unfortunately there. We saw him trying to take it to Perlow early, not getting the called foul. He's getting the called foul. Maybe Frisch switches to that zone we were talking about earlier. They stopped. They stopped. They're going to need to stop Perlow here, who's getting hot here in the third quarter.
And also, Josh, I'm noticing as the teams go over to the bench, John Greenberg holding and stretching out his right shoulder. We mentioned that in their game yesterday. In their major win, he was a major contributor, but went to the bench early, sitting out the last few minutes of the game. The game was already in hand, but he went to the bench and sat the last few minutes of the game with a shoulder injury. We talked to Coach Joe Honig before the game, and he said that it's actually been a recurring injury throughout the season. He must have aggravated it in the game yesterday. They're going to need him. He's their penetrator. He creates off the dribble from behind the three-point arc, so they'll need him to be healthy and to continue attacking here. When he's attacking, when he's at full force, it opens things up in the middle for Rosner and Perlow.
Yeah, such a big contributor, as we talked about before, averaging 17-9 into the season. Last game, 11-7, including that three-pointer to end the third quarter. He needs to get big. He's opening up things, as you said, for Perlow and Rosner.
We're going to send it down now to Ari Feiger on the HAFTR sideline.
I was just on the HAFTR sideline. Coach Honig stressing to his team they are a step slow on defense. That's all he said during the timeout. Back to you guys up in the booth.
Coach Honig, not a man to mince words, keeping things very brief. Here's Charlotte now, nothing but net. Mayor Charlotte netting the three-point shot and creating a 5-point Frisch lead.
Finally seeing that ball through the net. Charlotte not shooting well so far in this game. Finally gets one to go through. Look for him to keep shooting.
Frisch trying to create some traps here in the half-court, in their half-court defensive set. Greenberg now with an offensive rebound and then floating away from the bucket, banks it off the glass and in.
And it doesn't stop with Perlow. Offensive rebounds, no matter who it is, hurts the team. And Tyler Hode, a big three. It's the third quarter. It's the time he loves to shoot.
Another nifty play by Tyler Hode, utilizing a pass pump fake to get his defender and to create some space, distracting his defender, and then cold-blooded three-point shooter Tyler Hode knocking it in. 34-28, a 6-point lead for the Frisch Cougars.
He's biting that jersey. It's his time right now.
And after that eruption from the crowd, they quiet down as HAFTR will take it in from under the Frisch basket. They find Max Rosner underneath, who gets fouled by Scott Levine. Rosner frustrated that he wasn't able to finish that and one opportunity, but he will go to the line for 2 free throws.
The problem here right now is that HAFTR's finally getting to the low block. Frisch's defenders cannot defend Perlow and Rosner. They're too big. They're committing the fouls. They're trying to get easy points.
Interestingly, Coach Honig calling over all 4 of his players to discuss matters with them. Josh, what do you think he's saying? They're down 5 now, looking to create a 4-point deficit. What do you think Coach Joe Honig is saying to his team?
Well, it has to be on the defensive side. We just saw 2 3-pointers hit by Frisch. They need to play better on defense, and I'm sure that's what they'll be talking about.
Also, it seems that they're setting up a full-court press. Rosner wasn't in the huddle, so he was a little late receiving that information.
Full-court press with the big men up front. I like to see that.
An interesting tactic for HAFTR. Scott Levine now with it for Frisch on the left side. Ball turned over. Mayor Charlotte couldn't handle the pass. It was tipped away from him.
And on that defensive set, HAFTR not giving him any space after knocking down those last 2 threes.
Rosner can't get it though, but John Greenberg nearly dunking the ball back in, gets the tip. A phenomenal athletic effort by John Greenberg.
And I can't say it enough. I think Coach Steinmetz gave him a little bit of life. He knew what they had to do. It was offensive rebounds. They've been doing it here in the third quarter.
And Greenberg, no, this is it. His last game as a senior. Here's Hode from the left corner pocket. High arcing three, no good, but offensive rebound out to Langer, and Langer swishes it through the net. 36-32. The lead is back to 2 possessions for the Frisch Cougars.
This place would have absolutely exploded had Hode hit that three.
You're seeing a totally different Frisch team contrasting with yesterday's game where they were meek offensively and did not shoot a high percentage. They have been making the most of their shot opportunities. A foul now called against Andrew Langer. That is his third. So he'll have to be cautious as we wind down with the last 2 minutes in the third quarter.
Yeah, Andrew Langer is too valuable for Frisch right now to be sitting on the bench. Unfortunately, trying to swarm. Perlau called for the foul.
After now taking their time, you see A.B. Perlau working hard, trying to get himself open on the free throw line. Greenberg with a fadeaway. Couldn't get it to go, but Perlau with a super sensational putback. He had one arm, his left arm being held down by Langer, and with his other right hand goes up and tips the ball back in. That was a fantastic putback.
Such a strong move there, getting pulled down on one hand, with the other hand tipping it back in, getting the and one, going to the line to try to cut it down to a 1-point game here with 1:25 left in the third quarter.
And in addition to giving up a major bucket, which may be a momentum shifter, disaster for the Frisch Cougars as Andrew Langer now with 4 fouls. His 15 points will have to sit on the bench probably for the remainder of this quarter and perhaps into the first 2 minutes of the fourth as well. And Perlau comes back with another and one, reeling in the offensive rebound and putting it back in. This game is tied at 36.
He gets his own rebound off the free throw, puts it back up, gets another and one here.
Perlau dominating right now in these last 2 seconds of game time. An opportunity to totally turn the tide and give HAFTR a big lead.
And if anybody needs lottery numbers, I would go to Coach Seidmans. I think he can tell the future.
Not able to convert, but Rosner crashing the boards. Seems to be a jump ball as Rosner gets tied up with Noah Schechter. The big men for HAFTR absolutely instilling their will right now on the smaller Frisch defenders. They're getting rebounds at will, and Frisch is going to need an answer.
And you have to realize Max Rosner, A.B. Perlau, still juniors. But at halftime, I'm sure they want it as badly as a senior. They want it for their seniors. And a huge three there by Weissman to take a lead for HAFTR, 39-36.
What a massive possession there for the HAFTR Hawks, totally changing the momentum. They are now up 39-36 with 1 minute left in this third quarter. Now Mayor Charlotte with a deep three, no good. Rebound, Perlau. Perlau with an outlet pass to Rosner. Rosner up ahead. Ball nearly stolen by Hode, but Rosner finds Greenberg. Greenberg from the left side puts it in, and the HAFTR Hawks faithful are going crazy. 42 seconds left, 41-36, the biggest lead for HAFTR. 5-point game, 37 seconds left.
Great vision there by both the big men. Perlau on the outlet pass. Rosner to find the open man down low. Gives them a lead, 47-36, 29 seconds left in the third quarter, and a turnover there by Frisch. They are falling apart here in the third quarter.
Coach Joe Schwartz of Frisch with his hand over his face on that turnover. Whatever Coach Joe Honig said to his team when he called them over during a free throw just a few minutes ago clearly has had an effect as they have totally turned this game around. 41-36, HAFTR over Frisch. 15 seconds left. HAFTR now looking to keep the momentum and hold for the final shot.
And how cool and collected Joe Honig was as we interviewed him at halftime. He knew what they were capable of. He knew they were going to come out in the second half.
Weissman now from the corner for three. The crowd ready to erupt, but it's air ball. And Mayor Charlotte brings in the rebound, and then the full court heave is well short. So at the end of the fourth quarter, at the end of the third quarter, 41-36, the HAFTR Hawks over the Frisch Cougars. 5-point lead. We're going to send you to a commercial, and we'll be back with an exciting fourth quarter in just a few moments. This is Sarachek basketball. Welcome back. The music is blasting and the intensity is rising. Number 1, HAFTR Hawks on the verge of a championship against the Frisch Cougars, number 3, who will need a comeback to surmount this 5-point deficit as we end the fourth quarter. We're going to send you to our sideline reporter, Avi J. Schwartz, for an update.
Guys, Coach Schwartz is telling the team in the huddle, they've been in this position before. They've been in worse deficits. He wants to keep playing their game, play cool, calm, and collected, and they'll come back into this game. Tell them not to be worried. Do not play frantically. Back to you guys.
Frisch are going to need some contributions. They've got foul trouble. Benny Tuckman with 3 fouls, and Andrew Langer, who's been hot, their leading scorer, also with 3 fouls. So Tuckman on the court. He's going to have to be careful. Langer still on the bench. A shot now from Scott Levine straight away, knocking it in, and the Frisch faithful showing their appreciation for Scott Levine.
Scott Levine in a little bit of an open look. We saw in the third quarter that Frisch knocked down 2 3-pointers. HAFTR jump up in the zone. They relaxed a little bit, and Scott Levine had an open shot there.
Rosner with the ball, kicks it out. Rosner's been so good. Him and Perlau dominating at the end of that third quarter. Tuckman now you see fronting Perlau. HAFTR's offense revolves around getting Perlau open at the high post, getting it to him, and then working from there. Tuckman's been doing a very good job of fronting him. Perlau now with the ball. A foul is called. Luckily not against Benny Tuckman. If you're a fan of the Frisch Cougars, instead it goes against number 10, Noah Schechter.
And Avi J brought up the words calm, cool, and collected. We were talking about it in the interval right there, how HAFTR has been calm, cool, and collected. They were down a little bit, how calm, cool, and collected their coach was coming into the second half. Knew they could play. Perlau finally getting the ball. He's now 7 for 10 from the field. 3 for 6 from the free throw line, getting offensive rebounds, 17 points here for this game, looking to make it 2 more.
HAFTR already reaping the benefits of the bonus, so the 1-and-1 opportunity is off the mark for A.B. Perlau. They'll have to hit their free throws as they will probably be going to the line a lot here in this fourth quarter. A minute into the fourth quarter, 3-point lead for the HAFTR Hawks over the Frisch Cougars. HAFTR Hawks have won a number of tournaments this year. You're seeing the patience and the composure. They won the Magan David preseason tournament, the Cooper Invitational, and the Yeshiva League. So you're seeing the composure that they've gained in all of those experiences. Tyler Hode with his own rebound and then puts it back in. What an effort for Tyler Hode, a scrappy play.
Great recognition there as a guard to shoot the ball. Normally you turn around, even if you miss, you're turning around to get back on defense. Recognizes the lane open there, gets his offensive rebound and puts one up.
And on the other end, the HAFTR miss. And during this fight for the offensive rebound, Max Rosner called for a push, pushing off on the back of Scott Levine. Here come the Frisch Cougars now down 1, looking to take back the lead that they lost late in the third quarter. Hode has been stellar. We mentioned Mike Finkel, the point guard for Frisch, getting injured and out for the season after the semifinals of the Yeshiva League. So Hode has been handling the point guard duties, and he has done a flawless job. Frisch looking to find an opening in this matchup zone. They do. A 3-pointer from the corner is nothing but net. Noah Schechter, bada bing, bada boom.
It's the movement. They're finding open shots, off the ball movement, the body movement, allowing them to find the open spots against this HAFTR zone.
Frisch has regained the lead, 2-point lead for them as Mandel misses. Rosner with a big rebound and then flying to the floor, gets blocked. Coach Schwartz was not actually happy with the shot for Frisch, the 3-pointer from Schechter, even though it went in.
And a great offensive rebound there by Rosner. Goes up for the layup, wanting the foul. I was surprised there wasn't a foul there, but Frisch will collect the ball.
The HAFTR Hawks fans also pining for a foul, but did not get it. Here's Tyler Hode, top of the key, directing the offense, pointing out his teammates, pointing to the spots he wants them. Tuckman on the baseline, stretching the zone of HAFTR. Now Tuckman with a turnaround jump shot, hits the front rim and dribbles in.
And that's what he does. He's been doing it all game at the foul line, either turning around, taking the quick shot right there, or driving to the hole.
And this game has been full of frenzy. Another shift in momentum. Frisch now regaining the lead that they had lost only a few minutes ago in the third quarter. 4 minutes and 46 seconds left in this championship matchup. The Frisch Cougars 45, the HAFTR Hawks 41.
And at this time, I would like to tell everybody listening, anybody from the state of Michigan, Maryland, Atlanta, California, Florida, Illinois, and no matter who wins this game, New York, please go to clipkeepus.com For 25% off, if Frisch wins, it will be New Jersey. Please go to clipkeepers.com. They are allowing a 25% off for your team because they won a game here at Sarachek. Thank you for them for all their sponsorship so far.
And thank you to everyone who's tuning in for our MacsLive broadcast, bringing you this championship game. Certainly many people from Cedarhurst, New York, supporting the HAFTR Hawks, as well as Paramus, New Jersey, for the fans of Frisch Cougars. But obviously many more people from around the world have their eyes on what is now the pinnacle, the center of Jewish hoops, as the HAFTR Hawks attempt to go for the three-peat, the trifecta, in winning the Memphis tournament, the Yeshiva League, and now this. But they will have to overcome a 4-point deficit to the Frisch Cougars with 4 minutes and 40 seconds left to play.
Not only that, but they have to stop Frisch. So far, Frisch on a 9-0 run here in the fourth quarter. But finally, some points here for HAFTR.
Sammy Mandel taking it strong to the hoop. He's a strong, athletic two-guard, showing off his athleticism there, skying in and putting the ball off the glass. So it's down to a 2-point lead for Frisch. 4 minutes and 22 seconds left. Ball nearly escaping Tyler Hode. Hode signaling to his teammates that they should calm down. Back into the game is Andrew Langer, number 23, the leading scorer in this game for Frisch. He was out with some foul trouble. They're certainly welcoming him back. Going to see if he can continue the hot streak that he had going for him in the first half.
With 4 minutes left in the game, you have to put him back. You have to be confident that he's not going to pick up another foul early here and he'll have to sit again.
Michael Weissman wanted to travel on Scott Levine, didn't get it, and then a deep shot from the corner baseline by Benny Tuckman is off the mark. Greenberg looking for Rossman, who was barreling his way through the lane. Rosner was barreling through the lane, but it goes over his right shoulder and into the cheering section.
Unfortunately there, miscommunication by HAFTR. That's a big possession there to not have a shot.
And a timeout, a 30-second timeout called by the coaches for the Frisch Cougars. So Frisch Cougars losing a little bit of their lead here in the last minute. HAFTR had a big bucket to cut it to 2. They're going to take a timeout to talk it over.
And at this time, I'd like to give a shout out and a thank you for our sponsor, the Columbus Baseball Invitational, something that I hold very personally, being from Columbus, being on the baseball team, being able to play in the great tournament my senior year. I have to say it is a great time. So all of you schools listening here, if you have a baseball team and you are not already been or going to the CBI, please tell your athletic director, get on it. It is a great time and you will not regret it.
And A.B. Perlow, our head scorer Ezra Roberts just informed us has a double-double. We're going to send you though to Avi J. Schwartz on the sideline.
Hi guys, Coach Schwartz just spoke to his team again. He told them to play calm again, that they keep doing their thing. He says they're not going to take any shots until they're in the post. Get the ball to the post first and then figure out what to do with it. Play the game as it happens. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Avi J, for that update from the Frisch sideline. 17 and 10, a double-double already for A.B. Perlow, who has been dominant but held in check over these last couple minutes. Frisch working the ball around the arc. They're going to have to get the ball in close. As Avi J told us, they're going to look for a little bit of inside out, try to get the ball in and then work it out perhaps to one of their three-point specialists.
And it starts with
Here's Levine. And Levine knocking down an off-balance three-pointer, and the Frisch faithful are going crazy.
1 second ago, he was in the corner. Next second, he's up at the top of the three-point line, puts up the shot. It's the first one good for him.
And coming back the other way, a three-pointer is off by Michael Weissman, and it's out of bounds. Interestingly, HAFTR not known for their three-point shooting, but they had an excellent contribution in that front from Michael Weissman and Sam Mandel in the championship game of the Yeshiva League. So Weissman looking to do his part there, but couldn't get it to go, couldn't match the three-point specialist Scott Levine for the Frisch Cougars.
And there was actually a foul there called on Perlow and over the back on that offensive rebound attempt.
And Frisch coaching staff electing to go with a little bit of a defense-offensive substitution pattern. They're taking out Andrew Langer for defense. They'll obviously try to save him for offense and what he can do with the ball in his hands. 48-43, a 5-point lead for Frisch. 2.5 minutes left in the fourth quarter of this Sarachek championship game.
And Frisch is going to need to be collected. They need to have their guards handle the ball as we see almost a turnover there. Luckily, getting the foul called, Perlow getting called for the foul, and it will stay Frisch ball.
Ari Feiger reporting that Coach Joe Honing is encouraging his team to slide their zone matchup defense up, trying to pressure the ball. We'll see if they maybe even man up. They look to be switching into a man to create some more pressure in the half court. Frisch struggling to get the ball in. Finally, they do. Tyler Hode with it.
And great run there by Greenberg to get tight on Tyler Hode, not give him any space, but Hode able to break the pressure, able to cross the timeline.
Greenberg sliding his feet, trying to stay in front of Hode. Hode now pulling up from the free throw line extended and knocking it down in the face of Max Rosner. Hand down, man down, Tyler Hode.
Saw the space, had the confidence, took a shot, made the two.
Perlow finally gets it in tight and finishes up at the basket. So 50-45 still, the lead still at 5 for Frisch with under 2 minutes now. And Noah Schechter going hard to the bucket and getting fouled by number 33, Sammy Mandel of the HAFTR Hawks.
And a quick move there by Schechter, went to the hole strong. I don't know if Coach Schwartz, if that was really the plan, but he saw the hole, he wanted to take it. He'll go to the line for two, but we see some subs here. Maybe Coach Schwartz a little unhappy of what just happened there.
Schechter a little bit shaken up, looks to be holding his right elbow. We'll see if he's well enough to take the free throw. A lot of activity there on the Frisch sideline, looking to get Andrew Langer into the game for offense. In the meantime, Michael Weissman, the point guard, going over to talk to his head coach, Joe Honig, about the approach in these final 2 minutes.
And this is what it comes down to, a 5-point lead for all the marbles here at Sarachek.
We get set now for the free throws, which will be on the way from Noah Schechter. In and out, tantalizingly close for Noah Schechter, expressing his frustration but getting some encouragement from teammate Scott Levine.
And free throws are going to be so important here coming down the stretch. They need to make them.
The second is on the way and finally rolls in, finding the bottom of the net for Noah Schechter, and the substitution is made. Andrew Langer now replacing Schechter.
And I think that goes back to the run of Schechter that he made. Even though he got the free throws, I don't know if that's what Coach Schwartz wanted.
Frisch pressuring a little bit, but then falling back into their man-to-man offense. Tuckman still fronting the big man Perlow. He's done a good job of it. Here's Langer guarding Greenberg. Turnaround jump shot short for Greenberg. Perlow fighting. There's a scrum down low. A brutal battle for the ball, and finally a foul is called against number 30, Mayor Charlotte, sending A.B. Perlow to the line for foul shots.
And I thought Levine was doing a great job there trying to box out Perlow. I thought he was coming over the back on both those attempts. Not called for it. He'll get the foul call for his favor. He'll go to the line for two.
And my heart goes out to Benny Tuckman right now, having to battle A.B. Perlow in the post. He had to battle Gabe Leifer yesterday, did a good job, and has been battling A.B. Perlow all day long here. There, Perlow just too big and too strong for the Frisch defenders. And the substitution again has made Langer will take a seat for defensive purposes. Noah Schechter replacing him. 1 minute, 30 seconds left here. A 5-point lead for Frisch. Perlow knocking down the second free throw, making it a four-point game. 2 possessions, then Perlow, the big man, showing his speed, nearly intercepting that pass, but it goes out of bounds off of HAFTR.
And I think even so, with Perlow's 20 points, I do think Levine's have done a very good job today. If he hasn't stepped up, I think Perlow could have gone for a lot more points.
And Frisch successfully getting it past half court. Here comes Tyler Hode now. Tyler Hode receiving the ball back up at the top of the key.
And we see great pressure here by HAFTR, pushing up that zone like we talked about, but Greenberg called for the foul. A little jumpy there, a little jumpy with the hands. And finally, Frisch will go to the line for a 1-and-1, as that was HAFTR's 7th foul. And as we talked about before, free throw shooting so important here at Sarachek. Luckily, Tyler Hode, a 90% free throw shooter over the course of the season, calm, cool, and collected, knocks down the first one.
Tyler Hode showing that he is cooler than the other side of the pillow, knocking that free throw down. He's known for his free throw prowess, especially late in games, so they're going to go to him and look to him to seal the deal if necessary. 1 minute, 11 seconds left, 5-point lead for the Frisch Cougars. HAFTR on the ropes here. Not something that they're used to during their reign of dominance. Here's the second free throw on the way, and good. Tyler Hode knocking both in, and now a timeout is called. I believe it was by Frisch, a full timeout, and the crowd is getting into it here. 53-47, the Frisch faithful jumping up. We're going to send you to a commercial. We'll be back with the last 1 minute, 11 seconds here of the Sarachek championship game.
Beautiful, great cut to the basket. 2.5 left in the championship game. Look at the defenders. What a move.
Welcome back to the Max Stern Athletic Center Championship Monday. We have a Tier 1 championship matchup. The Frisch Cougars, the number 3 seed, looking to upset the favorites, the number 1 seed, the HAFTR Hawks. We'd like to take this time to thank the LK Healthcare Data Plumbers, Lior Hode, father of Tyler Hode, involved and been a big supporter of MacsLive throughout this year and certainly in this Sarachek tournament. So a big thank you to them for their sponsorship. We get set now. HAFTR will bring the ball in. Our sources say that they're going to look for either a wide open 3 or A.B. Perlau in the post. We'll see what comes up first. HAFTR in need of a quick basket. Just over a minute to go. 6 points. Here's a 3 from Mandel from the corner. Booyah! He knocks it in and gets fouled by Mayor Charlotte. Charlotte can't believe it, but a monster 3-point shot from number 33, Sammy Mandel.
And I thought it was going to come from Greenberg, but he finds Mandel on the in the corner and one on the 3. Not a smart play there by Frisch. He'll go to the line for a chance at 4 points.
And HAFTR has been lacking big time in terms of their 3-point shooting in this game, but getting a monster shot when it counts from Sammy Mandel. Mandel now looking to make it a 2-point game with 1 minute and 1 second to play. The ball is up and no good. The rebound finally brought in by Noah Schechter of the Frisch Cougars. Frisch now looking to break the press. And as Tuckman is receiving the pass from Tyler Hode, a stretch pass to Benny Tuckman, he gets fouled. Michael Weissman jumping all over him.
But this is what you like to see with 1 minute left. All the players giving it their all. They know this is the last minute of their season. All the players on the floor giving it their all, leaving nothing on the court today.
The stress level and the intensity is rising. The stress level is rising as Benny Tuckman gets set for his free throw. Tuckman, a huge contribution on both ends of the floor for Frisch. Knocking in that first free throw off the front rim. The Frisch faithful holding their breath, but the ball finally drops. 54-50 now with 53 seconds. After, as we mentioned before, going to look either for a quick 3, which they got, or A.B. Perlau in the post.
Tuckman as a senior, missing that free throw, but he knows this is it. He needs to have a strong game down low right now against Perlau.
46 seconds now. John Greenberg with the ball at the top of the key, looking for a pick from Perlau. Greenberg up and under, no good. Looked like Rosner and Perlau both fighting for the same rebound, and it ends up in the hands of Tyler Hode, who then gets fouled and will go to the free throw line. He sprints across the court, getting ready to prepare for these key free throws. His teammate, Mayor Charlotte, giving him some encouragement, along with the rest of his teammates.
But luckily for Frisch, Tyler Hode needs no encouragement right now. As I said before, a 90% free throw shooter. This is the guy Frisch wants at the line with 36.4 seconds left.
Hode been struggling a little bit, 4 of 10 from the field on the day, but 2 of 2 from the foul line. Make that 3 of 3. 5-point game now. Frisch Cougars on top. 36 seconds left. The HAFTR Hawks are in a hole. We'll need to find some easy buckets and some important defensive stops. And the Frisch faithful go crazy as Tyler Hode knocks down 2 of 2 free throws. 6-point game with 33 seconds. Sammy Mandel with the ball, a graduate of the Step It Up Academy, and he goes up, rises above the defender, and knocks down an unbelievable 3-point shot. Sammy Mandel coming up big.
Onions!
Sammy Mandel showing off the ice water in his veins, elevating above defender, hand in his face, but somehow finds a way to get that three-pointer to go from a similar spot as the and one three-point shot that he hit just a moment ago. So if you're Frisch, you know he likes that area of the court. You're going to have to look for that as we continue forward. 25 seconds left. Three-point game, 56-53, the 3 seed. Frisch on the verge of upsetting HAFTR Hawks, but the Hawks not going away. 2 major three-point shots from Sammy Mandel, who was quiet, had not hit a three-pointer all game long, but coming up enormous here. Frisch in the huddle anticipating a HAFTR press. HAFTR will look for a turnover, but I would think that in this specific scenario, Frisch has a little bit of an advantage, seeing as they're a team very guard-oriented, whereas HAFTR has a few big men.
But finally, we see what Coach Honig was talking about, the fact that any player could step up at any minute. Sammy Mandel is that player here in the fourth quarter. And we do see HAFTR with the full court pressure, but Frisch not afraid with their guard play. But Tyler Ahode let it go straight through his hands. A big turnover there for Frisch.
The nerves creeping up there on Tyler Ahode as he didn't successfully see the ball into his hands. It goes out of bounds. Frisch will now substitute Andrew Langer coming in for Noah Schechter. So a massively significant turnover there for Frisch. HAFTR, a one-possession game, a three-point game. The crowd is on their feet, full capacity at the Max Stern Athletic Center. The HAFTR Hawk fans are jumping up and down. Here's Greenberg now with the ball, 22 seconds left. Greenberg wide open for 3, pulling up and knocking it in. John Greenberg with 16 seconds left, tying the game, 56-56. But madness ensues here at the Max Stern Athletic Center.
Still plenty of time here, 15.4 seconds with the guards that Frisch has. They have plenty of time to get the ball up the court and get a good shot. They do not have to worry. They're probably going to hold for the last shot. They know the worst case scenario is going to overtime, but they know any shot wins it. They need to get the best one they can here.
A massive defensive breakdown there for Frisch. John Greenberg coming off of the screen. Looks like both defenders went with the offensive player who was setting the screen, leaving Greenberg open. Greenberg taking his time, which you don't always like to see from an offensive player. You kind of want to see him shooting rhythm, but Greenberg took his time and knocked down a three-point shooter from the right wing. The irony, Josh Cohen, the irony is that HAFTR, a team not known for their three-point shooting, has been carried by the three-point shot in both championship games that they've played in the last 2 weeks. In the Yeshiva League Championship, their guards, Michael Weissman and Sammy Mandel came up huge, knocking down some big three-point shots. And here in the last few seconds of this Sarachek championship game, they are 3 for 3 from the three-point line. First it was Sammy Mandel knocking down 2, and now John Greenberg knocking down a huge three-point shot. 56-56, 15 seconds left. Frisch has the ball.
And we see 3/4 of a court pressure here for Frisch. For HAFTR, Frisch, they have the guards to do it. They have plenty of time, but when the shot goes up, HAFTR must box out. They cannot allow a second chance shot off a miss here.
HAFTR electing to pressure in the inbound a little bit, but then falling back into their defense. HAFTR seems to be still in their matchup zone extended. 4 seconds left, 3. Here comes Benny Tuckman. Tuckman to Levine, hocking up a long three-pointer, no good, off the mark, not a great possession there. Benny Tuckman got stuck with it at the top of the key. 56-56, the end of regulation. We're going to overtime in this Sarachek championship. A deer pin shot alongside Josh Cohen. We're going to send you to commercial, and we'll be back for the 4-minute overtime in this Sarachek championship game. Welcome back. Madness here. March Madness in the Max Stern Athletic Center. 56-56. It's all knotted up at the end of regulation between the HAFTR Hawks and the Frisch Cougars. Number 1 versus number 3. Cougars looking for an upset. HAFTR looking to continue their reign of dominance. 4 minutes of overtime before us. And this looks to be a thrilling ending to what's already been a thrilling game.
But you have to wonder what was going through the mind of Benny Tuchman, getting the ball in the three-point line, dribbling it around, letting precious seconds go by. You want the ball in your shooter's hands. You wanted it in Tyler Hode's hands. That's who I thought it was going to. They don't get it, and they miss the shot, and we're going into overtime.
And after a failed jump, they'll redo it. It looked like Tuchman was trying to simply create some space for a three-point attempt. I would have liked to see him actually take it to the basket, maybe even draw a foul in those last final few seconds. This is probably the first overtime in a Sarachek championship game, so we are in for a rare treat here tonight, folks. Greenberg now finding his big man Perlow, double-teamed, and a steal by Benny Tuchman. Active hands by Benny Tuchman, taking away from the big man Perlow.
And if you're Frisch, you need to know Weissman as well as Greenberg, the 2 senior leaders for HAFTR, both with 4th fouls. They do not want to foul out here in the game.
Standing room only here in the Yeshiva University gym. Here's Frisch. The game still tied 30 seconds into the overtime. Point guard Tyler Hode settling things up. He's got Mayor Charlotte and Andrew Langer, his wingmen, along with Benny Tuchman and Scott Levine. Here's Charlotte now. Charlotte had a big game Friday. Had a three-pointer earlier in the game, but hasn't gotten many shots up. Langer has been huge, leading scorer for Frisch today. And they're showing great patience here, but not a lot of movement.
Yeah, early in the game, we saw Benny Tuchman trying to get to the free throw line. Stayed at the block this whole time so far here in the overtime, not moving at all as we finally see him go to the free throw line.
Here's Tyler, three-pointer, nothing but the bottom of the net. Tyler Hode and the Frisch faithful are on their feet.
That's the good shot they were looking for. Tyler Hode finding space, hitting down an open three-pointer.
Greenberg thinking about a three, instead goes straight to the basket, elevating, floating, and finishing down the middle of the Frisch defense. 1 point game, Frisch on top with 2 minutes and 20 seconds to go.
Strong move there by senior leader Greenberg to get an easy 2.
Showing great composure there despite the eruption from the Frisch faithful. Greenberg taking his time, electing not to shoot the three-point shot, which was alluring, but instead going off the dribble, taking it to the basket, as he does so well. HAFTR now extending their 2-3 matchup zone, trying to create some pressure up around half court for the Frisch guards.
Great ball movement there by Frisch to continue moving the ball in different areas of the court, not just trying to move the ball around at the top of the key. And Benny Tuchman with a huge, easy bucket there.
Langer, a sensational pass, seeing his big man Benny Tuchman sneaking along the baseline and coming in for an easy layup. 61-58, 3-point game with 1 minute and 30 to go. Greenberg going hard, and a charge is called. Scott Levine putting his body, sacrificing his body for the betterment of the team, and the charge is called. That's 5 now. 5 fouls on John Greenberg. So John Greenberg has fouled out of the game, the senior leader. That will be the end of his career, not the way you want it to end with 1 minute and 26 seconds left.
I have to say, great job to Scott Levine. I saw him set from a mile away. He had his feet set. He took the body strong. John Greenberg has fouled out of this championship game here.
Levine set up as Greenberg started his drive, waiting for Greenberg to run into him, took the contact, and received the offensive foul call from the ref. And with that, a foul is committed against Frisch by HAFTR number 22, Benji Nierenberg.
Frisch does not want to go 0-5 here, and they're showing it here in this overtime.
Unbelievable. Josh referencing the 0-4 record thus far in Sarachek championship games for the Frisch Cougars. They're looking to win their first Sarachek championship. And they've been leaving it all out on the floor today just a moment ago. Scott Levine putting his body on the line and taking an important charge. And as Noah Schechter knocks down the first free throw, the Frisch fans continue to show their appreciation. 4-point game now. It's now a 2-possession game, so HAFTR will need a quick bucket, whether it's a 2 or a 3. Schechter short on the last free throw. Rebound in for Sammy Mandel. Mandel knocking down 2 big three-pointers towards the end of regulation. We'll see what he does here. Finds Perlow on the high block. Excuse me, the high post. Rosner now for 3 from the left corner. Oh my goodness, in, out, and in. Max Rosner knocking down a three-pointer from the left corner pocket. 1 minute left in a 1-point game.
Rosner in a spot he doesn't normally find himself. Takes the shot. It touches every part of the rim and backboard and falls in.
HAFTR in their man-to-man. Tyler Hode probing. Choosing to take it back out.
Tyler Hode needs to be careful. He does not want to commit another turnover. We saw a ball go through his hands. That's what gave HAFTR the tie. He needs to be careful here that he doesn't commit another major turnover.
My goodness, HAFTR showing their composure. They're a championship team, and they're showing it here. Composure and knocking it down. It seems every time they need a three-point shot. It seems every time they need a three-point shot, someone is stepping up. First it was Mandel, then it was Greenberg. And here Max Rosner, who knew, the big guy with a soft touch, knocking it down from the left corner.
And as we spoke about it before, we are in overtime. We believe the first overtime that we know of since 2007. Great chance for you guys to get involved listening here on MacsLive.com. If you know of any game, any Sarachek championship game that has gone to overtime, please email us at feedback@MacsLive.com.
And we're going to send it to Avi J. Schwartz on the Frisch sideline.
Hi, guys. Coach Schwartz is telling his team again, naturally, cool, calm, and collected. He's saying it's the same exact thing that they've played in every single game. And he says, same thing like the DRS game. They're up by 1, 40 seconds left. They have the ball. He says, don't shoot any crazy shots. Only shoot if it's an open layup. Now we'll send it to Ari Feiger on the HAFTR side.
Thank you, AVJ. Coach Honing in the huddle, stressing his team, we need to get a defensive stop. We don't need a foul right away. If there's 20 seconds left, then we'll start to foul. Back to
Thank you to Avi J. and Ari Feiger on the respective sidelines. Here we go, Frisch inbounding the ball. Hode, the point guard, having it hounded by Mandel. And finally the foul is called against Mandel. Not happy as he thought he had maintained his defensive stance. Arguing with the ref, the contact was created by Tyler Hode. Nonetheless, Tyler Hode will go to the foul line. Double bonus now for both teams, so Hode will get 2 free throw attempts.
And as we said before, a 90% free throw shooter. I believe he's perfect today. He's who you want at the line coming down late in this game.
And Hode, cooler than the other side of the pillow. Hode knocking it in.
Cooler than the Frisch side of the pillow, we should say.
Very good. Thank you, Josh, for that input. Hode knocking it down and then turning to direct his teammates in terms of their defensive setup coming out of this free throw. And Hode once again, nothing but net, no question about it. Tyler Hode, 36 seconds now, 3-point game. Can HAFTR answer with another 3, or will they look for a quick 2-point shot?
You need a quick bucket no matter what it is. And a timeout here called by Coach Honing.
We will have to wait to find out, as Coach Honing not liking what he's seeing on that possession, calling a full timeout. And with 30 seconds left, it is 64-61, Frisch with a 3-point lead. Josh, if you're in the HAFTR sideline now, you know they've gotten 3-point shots whenever they've needed it in this game. So what is Coach Joe Honig saying to his team? What's their approach here in the final 30 seconds?
Well, I still think there's plenty of time, so they don't need that 3 just yet. And maybe Frisch is anticipating that 3, so maybe it's the time to give it into Perlow, to go in strong, and he gets that 2 easy points. Maybe he gets fouled as well, and he'll go to the line for a 3-point play the old-fashioned way.
And from the Frisch perspective, they've been doing a good job of fronting Perlow, keeping the ball out of his hands and making him work hard. Benny Tuckman has been responsible for that for much of this game. He's a workhorse down there in the paint, has been doing a good job. Additionally, the other Frisch players are going to have to do a good job of closing out on shooters and keeping HAFTR. And Coach Joe Schwartz reiterating what's really obvious to his players, but reiterating it as a coach should, that they should not foul. The key is to not foul. You want to allow HAFTR a shot, a contested shot, but you don't want to send them to the free throw line. HAFTR looking to get the ball inside, but they're not going to force it. If they don't have it on the inside, they'll get something coming from the outside with one of their guards. Here's Rosner lining up a 3 from the left elbow. Oh my goodness! Max Rosner pumping his fist, knocking it down. 64-64 with 17 seconds left.
Rosner, the second game-tying 3. Oh wow, what a game. 64-64, 14.1 seconds, and a timeout is called here by Frisch. It is a full timeout with 14.1 seconds left. We will send it to a quick commercial break and be back with the final seconds.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Max Stern Athletic Center. This is more than March Madness. This is insanity. I have never seen such a collection of successive big shots as we have seen here from the HAFTR Hawks. Three-pointer after three-pointer, and they have come back to tie the game up 64-64 with 14.1 seconds left on the clock. Josh Cohn, what has been going on? What has ensued in the last few minutes? And what are you seeing going forward?
Well, it's Rosner stepping out, 2 for 2 from the three-point line. I don't think Frisch realized he could shoot. Maybe not guarding him. He's hit 2 clutch threes, and it goes. But I think right now it goes back to even at the end of the game. Frisch, get the last shot. It goes into double overtime. That's fine, but get a good shot here.
And here we come, under 10 seconds now. Tyler Hode with the ball at the top of the key. Frisch looking for a good shot. Hode to Scott Levine. Levine driving to his right, a fadeaway three-pointer. Off the mark, off the back iron, too long for Scott Levine. He's the three-point specialist, so they're looking to get him open. Not a great look for Frisch. And with 64-64, we end the first overtime. A deer pin shot alongside Josh Cohn. We're going to send you a commercial. We'll be back for another overtime. 4 minutes of basketball here at Sarachek. This is March Madness in the Max Stern Athletic Center.
I am an NCAA athlete.
I am an NCAA athlete.
I am an NCAA athlete.
I am an NCAA athlete. I train hard.
I train hard.
I train harder.
I study.
I study.
I study. I study hard. I study harder. I'm here to challenge.
To challenge assumptions.
To challenge my teammates.
I'm here to challenge myself. I am a Maccabee. A Maccabee.
A Maccabee.
I am a Maccabee.
Welcome back to Sarachek 2015. This room is on fire right now as we go in and prepare for the second overtime here between the Frisch Cougars, the number 3 seed, and the number 1 seed, the favorites, the HAFTR Hawks. It's 0-0 essentially now, Josh Cohen, and these teams are going to have to battle for these last 4 minutes to see who will gain and who will reign supreme.
And it's amazing to think that Perlow has not been effective at all here in the overtime, not getting him the ball. It's been Rosner that's been carrying HAFTR so far.
Frisch winning the tip and settling now. An important note, John Greenberg, the senior small forward for the HAFTR Hawks, out of the game with fouls. So we will not be seeing him again. A major loss for the HAFTR Hawks as he is a fantastic, he's actually their primary ball handler and also a fantastic scorer. You see him standing up and getting the HAFTR Hawk fans involved over behind the HAFTR bench.
Frisch slowing the ball down, wanting to get the best shot they could. Unfortunately, again, there in the end of the overtime, we know Levine's their shooter, but he's not a shooter off the dribble as much as he is as a set shooter. He came off the dribble there, not getting the best three he could have there at the end of the first overtime.
You're absolutely right. Frisch actually getting the opportunity to take the last shot in both the end of regulation as well as the first overtime, so they have not been able to get a good shot up. We'll see if that comes back to haunt them here in the second overtime. Under 3 minutes to play now. HAFTR has not touched the ball yet. Frisch taking their time, chewing up the clock, and working it around. They're going to look for an excellent shot. Mayor Charlotte with the ball at the top of the key, finds his point guard Tyler Hode.
And if HAFTR is giving it to them, I say Frisch, keep doing it. Take as much time as you can. If you're not giving Rosner and Perlow the ball, they're not scoring. That seems obvious. But Frisch trying to get the best shot they can.
The fans making some noise, but despite a lack of action here as Frisch takes their time. Coach Joey Honig gesticulating on the sideline for HAFTR.
But with this time off the clock, they need to get a good shot here, and they need to make that shot. Now almost 2 minutes off the clock here. If they go down, if they have a turnover or a missed shot, it could be a huge play for HAFTR.
It seems that they may even be holding for one, which would be quite an extreme strategy, but we'll see if that is in fact what they are trying to do.
But
So
we see HAFTR slowly pushing the pressure outside on the Frisch guards.
I wouldn't be surprised if Frisch draws the HAFTR zone out and then finds someone cutting on the baseline. They've done it a couple times successfully. Watch Benny Tuckman running that baseline behind A.B. Perlow. Perlow doing a good job of staying back on Tuckman. 1 minute and 25 seconds left now. Over 2.5 minutes gone in this overtime. Nothing doing other than Frisch working the ball around the top of the key. The crowd getting a bit restless. A near steal by Sammy Mandel. Coming up on 1 minute now left in this second overtime. Double OT, the first overtime game in Sarachek from at least 2007.
And 3 minutes worked off the clock there by Frisch. I think they're holding for one, dear.
And now the crowd is actually chanting, "Get a shot clock." Crowd getting very restless there as Frisch is doing what they think the best strategy is to give them a shot at victory.
And it's actually funny because all the people chanting "Get a shot clock" were from Eula. California does have a shot clock, so they're pushing for New York's league to get a shot clock as well.
Coming up on 30 seconds left. I'm not surprised if this might have an influence on the committee. Perhaps some changes made for next year, but we'll see about that. 20 seconds now. Frisch still taking their time, and finally a timeout called by Coach Joe Schwartz. Unprecedented there. 4-minute overtime has been reduced to an 18-second overtime because Frisch was able to hang on to that ball.
And you have to give credit where credit is due, and that's to Frisch. To be able to do that takes a lot of confidence in their guards and and to have the knowledge to do it, to find the open men, to not give up that turnover. Frisch able to knock down a lot of valuable time here. 18 seconds left here in the second overtime.
And HAFTR coach Joey Honig stubbornly refusing to come out of their matchup zone, perhaps into a man-to-man, which would have created some more pressure. But he said, hey, listen, this is our bread and butter. We're not going to get out of it here in the second overtime of the Sarachek championship game. And as a result, we have 18 seconds left. Frisch still with the ball.
So if they're holding for one, this is now 3 chances they get to hold the ball for the last shot. Are they going to try to get a better shot? I hope so. They haven't gotten a good shot off the last 2 times. 18 seconds left. They need one here.
And we're getting a report from our sideline reporter, Avi J. Frisch has set up a play. Coach Joe Schwartz is instructing his guys to run the play that they call Duke. Running the play that they call Duke here in these final 18 seconds. HAFTR will select to guard the inbounder. And apparently Duke is some sort of penetration play. We'll see who ends up with the ball and who ends up taking the HAFTR defense off of the dribble.
But it's important here on this penetration for Perlow to stay put, not jump up, and they may be able to find an easy dump on the block for an easy layup.
Mandel and Weissman putting a lot of pressure on the Frisch guard. 16 seconds left, ball into Tyler Hode. The stands are on their feet. HAFTR is chanting defense. And Frisch are waiting for something magical to happen. Here's Tyler Hode to Tuckman. High three-pointer is off the mark, but it's saved by Mayor Charlotte, but goes out to Weissman, who then throws up a prayer, obviously off the mark. And booing now coming from the stands on our side, Josh Cohen.
Well, it's 3 for 3. 3 possessions. The last shot in regulation, the first overtime, and the second overtime have not been good for Frisch. They had the chance. They held the ball for 4 minutes. HAFTR did not touch the ball in that overtime, and they were still unable to get a good shot off.
You have to give some credit to the HAFTR defense, showing their composure, showing their poise, not getting out of character there, remaining in their matchup zone and forcing Frisch into yet another difficult shot. to end the game. You saw Benny Tuckman with another attempt from straight away. The last two final plays, both at the end of both of the overtimes, have resulted in a three-point look for Benny Tuckman, or at least looked as though they would result in a three-point look for Benny Tuckman. He has not gotten off a great wide-open look. A little more open on that one, but his eye-arcing three-point shot fell short and didn't find the rim.
And now it would be crazy to see. It'd be crazy to see if Frisch wins the tip-off again. If they do it again, we're just getting word that Coach Schwartz was not so into holding the ball. I'm surprised he let his team do it that long, maybe without calling a timeout, but he saw it was working. Maybe if they got into a little bit of trouble, he would have called a timeout, but it will be good to see here if Frisch wins the ball. Will they try it again?
And a fascinating little fact there that Coach Schwartz was not such a fan of holding the ball. You would think that that would come from the sideline. Perhaps it came from the players on the court. If it did, saying something about the leadership on this Frisch team, calling out the plays and sticking with it and having the trust of their coach who allowed them to execute their game plan. 64-64 now.
And HAFTR, Perlow making sure he wins the tip, trying to get it to his player, unable to corral the ball. Frisch will have the ball here, 3:57. We just started this second overtime. Will they try to hold the ball again?
And here we go, 3 minutes and 50 seconds left in the second overtime. 64 all.
Third overtime.
Here comes Tuckman. Tuckman skying over Perlow, can't get it to go. Good defense by Perlow. And here come HAFTR. Mandel into Perlow. He's guarded by Benny Tuckman. Perlow with a double pump goes up, and the foul is called against Tuckman. Tuckman can't believe it. Thought he had defended properly, but Perlow will go to the line for two shots. Perlow shoots a low arcing free throw, but overall a solid free throw shooter. So we'll see what he can do here with 3 minutes and 30 seconds left.
We see Perlow get knocked in the leg a little bit there. Came up a little wobbly, and we got word that he was little shaken up, a little limpy the last 5 minutes. We'll see if that plays into effect here coming down the stretch.
And Tuckman, we mentioned Greenberg for HAFTR, fouled out of the game in regulation. Tuckman now for Frisch on the verge of fouling out with 4. Rebound almost corralled by Perlow. But Tyler Hode now to Mayor Charlotte, who goes up and nearly gets the and one to foul. He got bumped on his way up to the basket, missed the layup, but he'll go to the foul line to try to get Frisch back in front. 1 point deficit. Mayor Charlotte, number 30 for the Cougars, setting up at the foul line.
So Coach Schwartz obviously telling his players that we're not holding the ball again. We're looking to score the basket.
Charlotte's first free throw is good. The guy is automatic from the foul line, making it look easy, rarely even brushing the rim. And he seems very relaxed there at the free throw line. Charlotte with the second on the way. And once again, nothing but the bottom of the net. Here comes HAFTR down 66-65 to the Frisch Cougars in this Sarachek tournament.
Frisch with high defensive pressure here. Can Mandel handle it?
Mandel getting around his player. Rosner now with the ball. He's got a hot hand. Going up strong. Rosner with the kiss off the glass. Rosner showing his offensive repertoire, taking it to the basket off the dribble and finishing from the right side. 67-66, HAFTR in the lead.
Well, you have to be aggressive the way you hit those last 2 threes. And a great play there by Frisch. Gets an easy lane.
Frisch drawing out the zone from HAFTR and then finding Tuckman for an elevated putback. And then the shot from Mandel. He's 2 for 2. Recently in and out, and now a shot. Another three-pointer off the mark, but Rosner with a big rebound. The putback is no good. There's a scrum. Rosner trying to get it, but Hode wrestles it away. Now hold up to Charlotte. Charlotte going up strong, getting the foul in the and one, and the Frisch faithful are going bonkers.
What a play there by Hode. Getting the scrum, getting the ball, realizing he's got a player down court, finds Charlotte on a long pass, and he'll go to the line for an and one. Frisch up 70-67 here with 2:30 left in the third overtime.
Charlotte showing some sound fundamentals, creating the pressure with his body and finishing with the right hand up at the rim. Sensational move from Mayor Charlotte, who had been quiet for much of this game. And that is now 5 fouls on number 10, Michael Weissman, the senior point guard for HAFTR. He is out of the game. That will be significant as HAFTR needs something special to happen here once again to get back in this game. Still 2 minutes and 30 seconds left, but without their primary ball handler, Michael Weissman and John Greenberg. Charlotte now 6 for 6 from the foul line. Mayor Charlotte has been showing his composure, putting Frisch up 4 points with 2 minutes and 24 seconds to play.
And free throws huge here coming into the third overtime. Frisch knocking them down.
After taking their time now without their point guard, without both of their primary ball handlers, Perlow spinning in the lane and throwing a line drive off the backboard that rattles home.
And a strong move there. It almost looked like he got his shoulder into the Frisch player. Not called for the foul, goes up strong.
A big-time move for a big-time player. A.B. Perlow been dominating well over a double-double in this game. Here's Hode with a floater off the front iron. Perlow brings it in and gets fouled. The foul is going to go against number 30, Mayor Charlotte. And because they're in the bonus, Perlow will now get 2 free throws, a costly foul as Frisch is up 71-69. Perlow, a solid free throw shooter, although he missed his last one. We'll see if Perlow can get this to go and tie the game with 1 minute and 51 seconds left.
Charlotte going up against the big man Perlow to try to get the rebound. Called for the foul there, allowing Perlow to go to the line for 2 free throws as they're in the double bonus.
And fouls become so critical here in the final minutes. Mayor Charlotte now with 4 fouls, so we'll see if he can keep himself in the game. Perlow swishes that one, 71-70. Frisch on top of HAFTR in the second overtime of this Sarachek championship matchup. The first one is short, rattles in and out, but Perlow crashing the boards, gets his own rebound, and then gets fouled. Where was the box out? Frisch, no box out on A.B. Perlow. Not that they can really box him out anyway.
That is the second time he's done that. Gotten his own rebound off a free throw, able to go up strong, getting to the foul line again, going to the line for 2 to try to get HAFTR the lead here with 1:49 left in the third overtime.
And the first free throw from Perlow also in and out. He shoots a very flat line drive free throw shot. Doesn't give him a lot of leeway. You see the last 2 have been in and out. So he will have one free throw now with a shot to tie the game at 71 with under 2 minutes to play in the second overtime.
And Tyler Hode sitting with 4 fouls now. Got to be careful. Don't want to foul out here. Should this game go into another overtime with the tying shot put up here, 71-71.
Perlow regains his composure and knocks down that second free throw, so the ball is all tied up. Frisch, for those of you just joining us in the last overtime, the first overtime, Frisch held the ball for the extent of the entire overtime. HAFTR never touched it, and Frisch wound up with the last shot, but they couldn't convert. And now a costly foul going against number 1, Brian Nathan. Recently checked off the bench, the 6th man for HAFTR.
Yeah, Brian Nathan just being a little over-aggressive there on Charlotte, costing him the foul. Charlotte been great at the free throw line today. See if he can continue to put Frisch up.
Certainly not the guy you want to put on the foul line as he knocks that one down. Charlotte has been perfect from the foul line so far. And Charlotte showing off his touch from the free throw line, knocking down both. Frisch now with a 2-point lead. HAFTR lacking 2 of their ball handlers and starters. Michael Weissman and John Greenberg fouled out. Also both of their seniors, so they're lacking some experience. Mandel with a beautiful floater, fending off his defender with the left hand and then knocking it in from the baseline. Sammy Mandel for 2.
Just floating that line in my mind to a push-off, doesn't get the call, allowing him to go up for the shot, tying the ball game.
Coming in on 1 minute now, 73-73. This one has been electrifying thus far. We can expect no less in the final minute here.
And Frisch slows the ball down. Are they going to hold for 1 here? The boos are coming, I think so. I think they're going to hold for 1. They need to get a shot off. It's the 4th try. Do they have it in them?
And although we were told before that Coach Joe Schwartz didn't necessarily agree with the holding pattern, it seems that he is motioning his parents to keep the ball out near half court here.
Well, that was for the full 4 minutes of the play. With 30 seconds left, I think he's a little more comfortable with it. But like I said before, it's their 4th try. They need to get a good shot off. They need to have the ball in Tyler Hode's hands. As we see Benny Tuckman, their big man, getting the ball with 14 seconds left, not in their guard's hands like I thought it would be.
10 seconds now. Here comes Benny Tuckman. He's got Perlow in an isolation play. Tuckman looking to take him, goes with the left hand, running floater, and he gets it in! Benny Tuckman puts it in, 1 second left now, and a timeout is taken. Benny Tuckman coming up huge for the Frisch Cougars.
Well, he erased what I just said. Benny Tuckman knowing what he's going to do, taking it to the hole, strong on A.B. Perlow, strong with the left hand, high off the glass, and gets the roll.
And that was simply an isolation battle between the two best players on the court. Benny Tuckman taking the big man A.B. Perlow off to the left side, going up strong with the left hand. Difficult shot. He had to create space. It was a tough angle, but kissing it off the glass and converting for two. 75-73. The Frisch Cougars up two on the HAFTR Hawks. The refs have elected to put 2.6 seconds left. This is double overtime of the triple overtime, of the Tier 1 championship game here in the Max Stern Athletic Center, the championship game of Sarachek 2015. 2-point game, 2.6 seconds left. It seems that HAFTR is going to have to go the length of the court. Josh, what are you expecting from HAFTR here?
Adir, honestly, I couldn't even tell you. They need 2.6 seconds left. They got to get the length of the court. They need a long inbound pass. That's the only way they're going to be able to do it. So Frisch, as we see already, one guy on the ball, all their other players falling back, not going to let anything get past the maybe half court or the 3/4 court of their side. Not going to let anything past. 75-73, 22.6 seconds left here.
And we're hearing from our sources that HAFTR's going to, their big men are going to set a screen at the free throw line and get a guard running long. We'll see how that plays out. Here we go, 2 seconds left. The ball into Mandel. Mandel with the ball, heaves up a final desperation three, and it's no good. And the Frisch Cougars have come out victorious in triple overtime. A mosh pit ensues at half court. The Frisch Cougars, your Sarachek champions in 2015.
The Frisch Cougars not going 0-5, 1-4. Congratulations to them. Great game. Triple overtime. 75-73 win for Frisch. Congratulations on a great game.
Arguably one of the most exciting finishes to a Sarachek tournament. The first and perhaps even only overtime, let alone 3 overtimes since 2007. HAFTR, it seemed, got a 3 whenever they needed it. But at the end of the day, the Frisch Cougars able to maintain control and able to come out on top. HAFTR looking dejected, and the Frisch Cougars celebrating near half court.
You have to imagine, though, for Rosner and Perlow, just juniors, great players coming back on this team. They're going to have a very good team next year. Look for them to do very well, both in the Yeshiva League and probably back here at Sarachek. We see the sportsmanship here. All teams congratulating each other on a great game here. 3 overtimes, as we said many times before. Frisch coming out on top, finally breaking that streak, winning their first Sarachek championship.
Well, welcome back to the Max Stern Athletic Center. We are in the wake of a sensational championship game. The HAFTR Hawks coming out, putting up a good fight, but at the end of the day, the Frisch Cougars were too much to handle today. Frisch coming off of a weak performance yesterday. They somehow managed to find a win against DRS, but today they were really sensational. Offensively and defensively against this HAFTR Hawk attack, which had not been slowed all season. We're going to send you to a quick commercial, and we'll be back with more of the postgame, along with interview with some of the newfound Sarachek champions, Frisch Cougars, along with the award ceremony. So stay tuned. Welcome back. The Frisch Cougars, the newfound Sarachek champions of 2015, joining Josh and I in the booth. Guys, a phenomenal victory. Benny, we're going to turn to you first. At the end of the first 2 overtimes, you had a chance at the end. We're having trouble here as the team joins us in the booth. Benny, at the last 2 overtimes, you had a chance to win it. You didn't get it there. What happened on those 2 plays? And then what changed? What were you able to do on the final play when you won the game for your team?
I think we got a closer shot. That was helpful, but mentally, I don't know what happened. I wasn't in there. It's surreal.
That's Benny being Benny, and that's Benny dominating. That's who he is.
Benny being Benny, I like that. Tyler, great game, controlling Frisch the whole tournament. You sat down late in the first quarter and then into the second quarter, but you came back with a vengeance in the third and going into the overtimes. What was your thought coming back into the game in the second half?
I was just focused on that one thing, which is winning a championship. That's all I wanted. That's all I ever wanted. And the reason why we all played so intense once again is because Mike Finkel, he's the heart and soul of this team, and we all know that.
And you guys, obviously a big loss for you guys, losing Mike in the semifinal against DRS. We'll turn to you, Mayor Charlotte. Mayor, what did you guys do both in terms of overcoming the loss of Mike, and what was going through your head with all those key free throws today?
Mike was a captain. He led us in intensity and in defense the entire season. And honestly, all we could do is come into this game and match that intensity for Mike, for all the work we put into the entire game. And these guys dominated. We all had our moments. It was a great game.
And last question, what does it mean for you guys? You had a tough loss going back in the semifinal. You didn't win the Yeshiva League. What does this mean, finally being victorious and bringing home a Sarachek crown?
There's no better feeling. There's no better feeling.
Okay, thank you guys so much. Congratulations.
Go enjoy it.
Phenomenal game, a phenomenal game. We're still here. We'll still hear some thank yous now to our MacsLive staff, who have done a fantastic job throughout this Sarachek tournament. Writer Gary Feder on the sideline. You saw them a number of times. Ari Feiger and Avi J. Schwartz. Scoreboard, Ezra Robert, Benjamin Barman, and Yesh Ginsberg. On the camera, the unsung heroes of this MacsLive broadcast, Josef Frankel, Michael Osborne, Yaakov Moses, Akiva Lautman, photographer Shlomo Friedman, booth producer Leo Corman and Avi Mahuda. Thank you guys for all that you do. Audio producer Leora Lewin. And finally, the president of MacsLive, Benny Statman, who has been working, no joke, year-round in preparing for Sarachek, has really led the broadcast and led the troops in putting on this broadcast. A dear pinch on alongside Josh Cohn. Josh, just a few words to sum up, if you can, what we saw here today.
Well, a great back-and-forth battle between both teams. Frisch able to get into Perlau's head. Perlau had a great game, but Frisch able to front him, able to guard him, not allowing to have the biggest game he could, and I think that's one of the biggest reasons Frisch came out victorious here.
And with that, Sarachek 2015 comes to a close. 5 days of nothing but basketball. Teams from around the country coming to compete. And at the end of the day, the crown goes to the Frisch Cougars from Paramus, New Jersey. A fantastic play over the course of the weekend. A little up and down. They got a tight, nail-biting win against the RS. And I don't think nail-biting is even does justice to the triple overtime victory over the HAFTR Hawks here today. So congratulations once again to the Frisch Cougars. This is Sarachek basketball. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you back here next year. We're going to send it now to the trophy presentation down on the court.